in their fields about the latest medical findings and call in with your medical question. Healthy Rounds is dedicated to providing accurate and timely health information and is sponsored by Hartford Healthcare, Ratchford Eye Center, St. Francis Hospital, Covaris, and Yukon Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Healthy Rounds, Saturday mornings 11 till noon on WTIC, News Talk 1080 and WTIC.com. Need good tech advice?
Must be a computer error.
Tune into the
My bad, 30 seconds.
award-winning Computer Talk with Tab, Saturday mornings 9
You're good.
on WTIC News Talk 1080. Eric Semmel and Dennis Howland of Tab Computer Systems will keep you updated with tech news you can use and answer your technology questions live on the air. Miss a program? Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and tune from any
In 8 seconds.
app. Computer Talk with Tab, Saturday mornings on WTIC News Talk 1080. This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Years ago, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to be patrolling the streets of Hartford from now on? The A-Team, ladies and gentlemen. The A-Team is in charge. If you've got a problem and you need someone to solve it, you can contact the A-Team. They're going to be patrolling all through Hartford, and no one is happier than me. I don't even have to live there. But the people, the citizens of Hartford, stand up. Be proud of your neighbors. Be proud of the fine men and maybe some women who have decided to take up arms to patrol those streets. You should be proud of them. You should stand up for them. Hey, look, a good friend of mine, Gene Pinkham, he has a saying, and I'm pretty sure you've heard it before, but that when seconds count, the cops are minutes away. And now they have people who are controlling themselves. Folks, this is a testament to not relying on your government or your county officials to do the work that you can do yourself. That's your community. Isn't that what Black Lives Matter has been telling them for the longest? That it's their streets. Whose streets? Our streets. All day, every day. And now people have decided to take up arms and to say enough is enough. We're not going to be ravaged by violence. We're not going to be ravaged by drug dealing. We're not going to be ravaged by stray bullets. We are going to patrol our streets ourselves, and we're going to keep the riffraff out. We're going to make our community safe and clean. We're going to be worthy of living in this town, and they deserve it. They deserve it, and we have to applaud those who have stepped up to do it. We can't rely on the police. The police department should be echoing this. In fact, I would tell the Hartford police today to go find these people and go shake their hands and say, thank you for working with us to get rid of the crime on these streets, making our lives easier. Hey, what do you need from us? Do you need support? Huh? Do you need a direct phone line? Do you need our cell phones? All of that should happen. All of it. Listen to the report.
In Hartford's North End on Saturday,
We are legally armed.
a group of people looked to patrol and clean up Garden Street.
it's important to come out here because we believe that we have to keep the community safe, we have to keep the community clean. And we're doing this by being out here for a few hours, cleaning up the community, pick up the trash.
Garden Street has seen its share of gun violence, including a double homicide in February, which is what prompted the push for civilian armed patrols.
The people on Garden Street came to us and asked us for help.
While there did not appear to be open carry, which is banned in Connecticut, organizers previously told us those armed would be licensed and have concealed weapons. They were part of Minister Cornell Lewis's self-defense brigade.
We are not vigilantes. We are a group of people that are disciplined, who train, who go to the shooting range.
The effort faces opposition, including from an anti-violence group and the Hartford mayor.
Wait. So let me get this right. An anti-violence group is opposed to a group of people who are walking around patrolling their neighborhood to put an end to this senseless violence. An anti-violence group? Which group is this? By the way, if anybody knows, get them on the phone and tell them to call up the number. It's 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. Which one of you punks, which one of you suckers in this anti-violence group is saying that these people should not be patrolling their own neighborhoods with weapons? Are you under the impression because they're black that it's only going to end up in a shootout like the OK Corral? Huh? Why didn't you name yourselves? Why don't you come forward? You're an anti-violence group. Yeah, sure, you're an anti-violence group. I don't ever see you stepping up to the gangs and the drug dealers who are shooting, but you got a problem with the people, the fine citizens of Hartford who are going to walk around and patrol those cities. You punks. Who else is opposing this?
Mayor Arunan Arulampalan wrote in part, "Our community has seen so much pain and trauma, and what we need is for those who love this city to do the hard work of healing that pain."
Healing it? But they're not supposed to put a stop to it? Heal that pain? That doesn't sound like a deterrent there, Mayor. That doesn't sound like a deterrent. That sounds like we should be running around giving people Band-Aids. Why aren't we applauding these people? I want applause for them. Because the other stuff ain't working. Obviously, Mayor. Obviously, anti-violence group. None of that stuff is working. What else you got? Please give me your proven record on this anti-violence stuff that you're preaching about. Please, Mayor, give me some statistics on how the healing has quelled the violence. Here are the citizens who are deciding they're going to go out there and they're going to put a stop to this themselves. They're going to let them know you will not run roughshod over the good citizens of Hartford. We are here to protect them, and we can do it with weapons. And we're going to do it with the same guns that you run around. Because obviously, you're running around. No one else is stopping you. The police officers aren't stopping you. I mean, one thing's got to happen. The citizens have got to decide what are those villains going to do now? Now that everyday citizens are walking around patrolling those neighborhoods, what are they going to do? They're going to shoot at them? Are they now going to tell those young black men, those older black men who are trying to keep their neighborhood safe, that they should not and they should go after them? Is that what those drug dealers and gangbangers are going to do now? Is that now they've got an enemy with the actual people who are going to protect the other citizens there? Is that the war that they want to stop? Of course not. Of course not. The people who those guys go after are usually the cops and the anti-violence groups that never show up, by the way. Never show up. And if they do, it's after all of the shells have dropped. You chumps. You punks. All of you. You wusses. All of you.
Mayor added that the city did not need people being trained to walk the streets with guns.
Why? Why?
And trying to take the law into their own hands.
No, they're not. Taking the law into their own hands if they were walking around just grabbing drug dealers and grabbing gangbangers off the street and just performing citizens' arrests. No, they're not. That's not happening. That's what we call putting a 10 on a 2. That's what you call putting their agenda in front of them without even asking them. telling everyone what their intentions are. Have you asked each other? No, they are there to protect the community, to let them know that they will not be able to just run around and just willy-nilly just shoot and gang bang and drug deal and all that stuff, that citizens are there to protect their own. That's what they're there for.
Earlier, there was a talk about gun rights, including how to get a permit, safe storage and carry, and personal use. The founder of the brigade says they plan to do the patrols a few times a week.
We'll be patrolling at night. So it's not just a one-time thing. It's going to be on a consistent basis.
Organizers of the patrols argue they are needed, and there are plans to expand them to other parts of the city.
And there should be. And it should be. Unless somebody else has got a better deal that actually works. Unless someone else has got a record, has got something that works. Other than that, you're talking out your butt. And they know it. Mr. Mayor? Activist group with no name? You were too much of a punk to even give your name for this report. From NBC, you were too much of a punk to even give your name, you hid in the shadows. Let me take one. Let me go to one person who's actually been covering this, and I'll get to Dave. Dave, be patient with me. Let's go to Mark in West Hartford. Hello, Mark. You're on Reese On The Radio on the Todd Feinberg Show.
Well, first of all, I'm going to say somebody's name that we all forgot about.
Who's that?
Who did do something in Hartford when he saw something. His name is Jason Spencer.
That's right.
And I guarantee you, there's a whole bunch of people scratching their head going, who's Jason Spencer? And we've talked about him before.
That's right.
This guy's a hero. He stepped in. Listen, the guy so this was Representative Marion Khan coming out of the XL Center. It was a Muslim prayer service.
That's right.
Now we remember, right?
Oh, yeah.
There was a guy with tattoos on his face. I'll tell you what. He makes Mike Tyson look like a kid at a craft show getting a face painted, right? This guy looked like I wouldn't want to put. When I saw that guy's picture and I found out somebody went after, I said, I want to know who would step in.
Yeah.
Well, this is an honorably discharged Army veteran, black male, stepped in, risked his life, and who gets arrested besides the bad guy? He does.
That's right.
Jason Spencer is still utilizing, I believe, if I got it right, Representative Khan is allowing her attorney, or not allowing, but at least facilitated some representation for this gentleman.
Yeah.
But, you just can't go out, and if they think they're going to protect it. But listen, the people that are in charge, it's Cornell Lewis. You know him.
Yeah, I'm well aware of that. He's
a charlatan. He's all talk. He's done so many things in the past that tells me that this is going to know.
You think this is going to? You think this is fly by night? You think this is going to be over before it starts?
You know what this is? Hey, I'm gonna nail it right on the head, and I want somebody to call me out on it if they think I'm wrong. This is like the group Calling All Brothers. They show up at the first day of school to high-five kids going in that school.
And you never see them again.
Some of those people, they're deadbeat dads themselves. You should be walking. You should go find the fathers of the kids and have them high-five their own kids going in the school. And I called up the superintendent's office, Reese, because you know me.
Yeah.
I said, how many times a year does Calling All Brothers go into the school to mentor, to read to the students? But they had to get back to me. You know why?
Why?
Because they were just trying to find something telling me that, yes, they're involved throughout the school year. Now, somebody's probably going to call now, and maybe that changed because I did this a couple of years ago. And I'm hoping that word got out because maybe I facilitated something. But up until I called and checked on it, they just show up and you people see that every year.
Well, you say they show up on the first day of school and then you don't hear from them anymore?
No. And who are they, Reese? They are the community leaders that work for the nonprofit.
Look, here's
the police.
Here's what
these appointed officials.
Mark, here's what I'm saying. Mark,
high-fiving them.
Let me say this. Here's what I'm doing, right? First of all, and Cornell Lewis, yes, we do know him. I'm nothing against Cornell Lewis in this regard, but let me just say this to the people who are with Cornell Lewis who are doing this patrol. Look, these people who are sitting up here saying that, look, that they don't want to exacerbate any violence. Nobody suggested that. Until we see that, Otherwise, I'm not going to frown on these guys doing it. I think that people need to take their communities into their own hands. Otherwise, they're relying on government to govern Hartford. And guess what happens? It gets worse and worse and worse, and nothing ever changes. And I'm going to say, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Let's give Cornell Lewis the benefit of the doubt here.
Well, the funny thing is that I was thinking, this is truly the first time that policing, albeit just civilian policing, will reflect the community that they're in trying to police. Because right now, the Hartford Police Department, I'm going to send you a list that I have.
Mm-hmm.
They have a retention problem. Yes, year after year, they're recruiting. They're all DEI hires. They're females, black and Hispanics. And guess what? They lose 80% of them in the first 5 years of their hire. So it's this circle that this vicious cycle that they can't stop it.
Right.
Legally, you can't make somebody work for you for your entire career. So it is kind of, hey, maybe it will mean something.
That's all I'm hoping for. I want it to mean something.
People really.
If the community has asked for this, as Cornell Lewis has said, if they really asked for this and he's giving that to them, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here, because guess what? What's the one thing that I've always complained about, Mark? You and I both, right? That communities do not get involved enough with their own issues and they rely on others to solve their own problems. In this case, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to crap on it, because this is an opportunity for them to take a hold of whatever the issue is themselves and to try to, for the lack of a better word, police it. That's my point.
And I'll leave you with this. And there's one thing that needs to be done, but they won't do it.
What's that?
So Cornell Lewis and the rest of them know if they're marching down, pick any street in a hot area in Hartford, they know who's harboring these.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
And you know what? Not that they need to call the cops, because then we don't want to get into that snitching thing.
Right.
Why don't you go up to the person that's allowing the gangbanger to do business out of that house?
That's right.
And say, you know what? You got to knock it off. I don't want this kid. This kid is in and out all day long. People are coming and going with the drugs. We know he shot a few people. They know their police records. They know who the bad people are, but they won't call them out.
No.
On the street, they probably walk by 5 houses that they know bad people live in.
Let's not go. Listen, you're 100% right about that, Mark. But and truth be told, that's true. The people who know, they know. But I want to go step by step on this one. I got to take a break, and we'll come back and talk to Dave. But I'm going to go step by step. This is a good first step in my view. I'm going to talk about it some more. And if you little punks out there, you do activist groups with anti-violence activist groups who are too scared to show you, get on the phones. 860-522-WTIC. Let's take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views. It's Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Don't forget Jason Spencer.
Nope.
You love your city, but let's be honest, the commute, not so much. That's where the free Odyssey app can help. Download the app and follow your local news station so you can get the latest traffic reports or find if your train is on time before you walk out your door. Knowing all this gives you time to think about the essential things like, do I have time to get coffee? Download the free Odyssey app and search your local news station. That's AUDACY.
The law firm of Brown, Payne, Dirris & Scott understands that divorce can be intimidating, and the decisions you make today will impact your life forever. Divorce is complicated. There's a lot at stake when considering your future. At Brown, Payne, Dirris & Scott, our team of family attorneys have over 100 years of combined experience and realize that every family law case is different. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer, you get a law firm. Visit us at bpslawyers.com. Katie Bissonette is responsible for the content of this ad.
Your vacation possibilities just got more exciting. Enjoy connections to over 20 cities across Europe when you fly non-stop to Dublin from Hartford with Aer Lingus. Great fares from Bradley International Airport, now available on airlingus.com.
Follow WTIC News Talk 1080. Don't miss out on important updates in Connecticut, from breaking need-to-know news, weather alerts, and more. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app now.
There's nothing quite like the Honda Accord Hybrid.
Be right back.
Hybrid. when it comes to exhilarating efficiency. With hybrid technology and thrilling capability, these vehicles deliver an electrifying performance on every drive. But what truly makes these hybrids special is the unwavering determination that inspires everything we do. Redefine your driving experience with Honda, KBB.com's best value brand of 2023.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
Based on 2023 brand image awards from Kelly Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
And now, a WTIC news update.
42 degrees at 3:30. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Wind advisory is in effect, and it has done a number on the power situation for some. Eversource reporting just shy of 11,000 of its customers offline this afternoon. There will be a new top cop in the capital city. Police Chief Jason Thode announced today that he'll not seek a renewal of his contract and retire. The 48-year-old rose through the ranks of the department, starting as a patrol officer and working his way up. Mayor Arunan Aralampalam says he will elicit community input in choosing Thode's successor. The chief did not give a date as to when he will leave. Meantime, HPD made arrests in 2 homicide cases. They say Joshua Dupre of New Britain is charged in last November's death of Christian Lopez, and Luis Lavoy was also picked up earlier today in connection with the shooting death of Julius Rivera back in January. 2 more wrong-way driving crashes over the weekend in Connecticut. One occurred on Route 2 in East Hartford early Sunday, where a state police vehicle was struck, and another happened on I-95 in Westport in a construction zone. No injuries were reported in either incident. This, as the state DOT continues implementing wrong-way driving lights and signage on busy highway exit ramps across Connecticut. Former President Trump is seeking to delay his March 25th hush money trial until the Supreme Court rules on the presidential immunity claims he raised in other criminal cases. Trump's lawyers asked a Manhattan judge to adjourn the criminal trial indefinitely until Trump's immunity claim in the D.C. election interference case is resolved. Palestinians have begun fasting for Ramadan. The Muslim holy month arrived with ceasefire talks at a standstill, and the UN Secretary General is calling for a ceasefire for the period. Longtime New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley is taking his talents south down I-95. Barkley has agreed to a 3-year contract with the rival Philadelphia Eagles per ESPN. He gets $37.75 million, $26 million guaranteed. And in other New York sports bad news, Yankees ace and last year's Cy Young winner Garrett Cole is headed for an MRI on his right elbow. WTIC News Time is 3:32. Bob Larson has the forecast.
Wind advisory in effect until 1 a.m. Tuesday. Very windy and chilly the rest of this afternoon. Sunshine and patchy clouds. Combination of saturated soil and gusty winds can bring down trees and power lines. I-46.
We still got Dave?
Chilly tonight, low 35. Breezy and turning milder tomorrow. Plenty of sun, high 61. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, low 35. Partly sunny and warm Wednesday, high 65. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
44 is the temperature right now in Hartford. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Men, this is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. The one you love is the light of your life. And if you're like most of us, you want to do whatever you can to nurture your relationship. But if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction, you know the impacts the condition is likely having on you and on
Dave is gone.
ED is a relationship destroyer. It can contribute to depression, distancing, conflicts, even breakups and divorce. And what's so disturbing about this is that most men who suffer with ED can be successfully treated, but a lot of guys don't seek treatment when they should. At Northeast Men's Health, we have protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases. In fact, if you're like most guys, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and maybe find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. So call Northeast Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices in the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Prometic restorative health practice.
Welcome to JP Carroll Roofing. Trust your home's biggest protector to the best in the business. With over 30 years of dedicated service in Connecticut, our family-owned company turns your roofing needs into beautiful, solid realities. Known for reliability and superior workmanship, we specialize in roof replacement, repair, and installation with a dedicated commitment to customer satisfaction. Visit jpcarrollroofing.com today and experience a hassle-free journey to a secure, beautiful roof. JP Carroll Roofing, protecting your roof and everything underneath it.
Catch all the March basketball action at the XL Center Sports Bar. It all starts March 21st and 22nd, when you can enjoy $5 domestic draft beers, quesadillas, sliders, and nachos. Located on the corner of Church and Ann Street, this unique space has over 80 TVs and a 100-foot-long video wall, so you won't miss a play. Follow us on social to find out about our upcoming specials. More info at xlcenter.com.
Hey, it's Matt Soroyce here with a huge update. I've now dropped 80 pounds thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. 80 pounds. And we're talking just months here, not years like you'd expect with those weight loss injections and other diets. Awaken 180 flipped the script on what I thought was possible. And now I'm only 20 pounds away from the century mark. Losing 100 pounds all by eating to lose weight. You know, I was once eyeing those weight loss injections, but with the slow progress and a laundry list of those side effects, had me searching for something better. That's when I saw Tom Shattuck's astonishing 85-pound weight loss with Awaken 180 in just a short amount of time. No side effects, quicker results, but the real game changer, the weight has stayed off. Free support for life as well. Only Awaken 180 offers that, because this isn't just a quick fix. It is the long-term solution for weight loss. So what are you waiting for? Reserve your West Hartford, Cromwell, or even at-home consultation today at awaken180weightloss.com. Let's make the impossible possible. Again, awaken180weightloss.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
1 minute.
Share data from lots of places, like a bird sanctuary.
Good eye. There is a typo. Thanks.
But to make them powerful enough to deliver new opportunities at the edge, you need CDW and Aruba. CDW experts can help design and implement an Aruba Edge Services platform, which unifies, secures, and automates network environments everywhere, so you can translate data into innovation.
Sorry, do you mind? This is confidential.
Aruba makes visibility at the edge possible. CDW makes it powerful. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
Everyday Cintas service reps help
30 seconds.
Get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights.
And
helps keep your business.
Let's get that Archbishop
See what Cintas
piece
can do
ready.
for you. Visit Cintas.
All right, I'll get it.
Get ready for the workday.
Oh, come on, why wait? You can rant right now at 860-751-4698 on the Todd Feinberg Show.
Ooh, a little one-on-one by Smith & Wesson. Woo! Okay, if you're into hip-hop, that is the track. That's the track right there. 101 Smith & Wesson. Gosh, I can't remember what year that was.
Oh, 97.
97? Okay, yeah, that was before I moved to Buffalo. Yeah, that track is... Whew. That track, everything about that song is it's all hip hop. Anyway, thank you, Roland. I appreciate that. It's Reese On The Radio, filling in for our good friend Todd Feinberg. today. I'll be in tomorrow as well, so you'll be able to hang out with me, of course. You can always go to reasonthenradio.com so you can watch the show live. When I'm on the air like 3 hours and 4 hour times when I do it like this, and especially during the evening, we usually don't do a podcast at night because I almost feel like it's overkill. So I kind of like meld the two. So this will be me doing the podcast while I'm on the air on WTIC. So if you'd like to, just go to WTIC.com. Of course, you can listen anytime you want, or you can go to ReasoNRadio.com if you'd like to watch the show and watch me on the air. Mark's sending me anything and everything. Archbishop Dexter Burke was on the program last week, Roland, was it? Friday? Or was it Thursday? I'm sorry?
Last Monday, a week ago.
Last Monday. Okay, so a week ago today, talking about this effort to patrol the city of Hartford in this particular area. And the Archbishop talked to Todd Feinberg about that. Here's what he had to say, to reiterate. Again, reiterating exactly what I never heard this interview. And again, common sense is common sense. And here's what the Archbishop had to say.
You know, for some strange reason, the government believes that we need their approval to clean up our streets, and I disagree. I believe that if they can do it, and if individuals are willing to do it, my saying, if you're not going to help, just get out of the way. And I see them trying to stand there, but we're getting a lot of support from individuals from as far as Maine and Rhode Island. Folks are calling us and they're saying, "How can I help? How can I help? We want to be there. We want to help." And I know the mayor today in a news coverage, I heard him peddling, some falsehood that the man in the brigade is going to go out there and look for trouble. I don't think one needs to look for trouble in Hartford. I think it's there, it's present. I think what we're doing is going out there and try to find solution to the problems that exist, that this administration, previous administration, has thus far failed.
So, again, I don't get it. Now, if this thing goes by the wayside, right, if it's an abject failure, then everybody else pat themselves on the back, right? You say, God, you know what? I told you it wouldn't work. Fine. But see, this nonsense about how they're going to go out and look for violence, let me tell you what this is. Archbishop, if you're listening, somebody call the Archbishop. He and I don't always see eye to eye. They probably think I'm some turncoat Negro, usually. I'm sorry. I applaud them for saying that. But we can find some common ground, Archbishop, and we found it here. Let me tell you why. Because you're not waiting on the government to clean your own community, to straighten it out. And this is why, don't wait for government intervention to do the job that you can do. We start believing that government has to do everything for us. We have to suck on the teat of government for our everyday needs. The government becomes our parent. But let me tell you what's really happening, Archbishop. Let me tell you what's really happening, Cornell Lewis. Here's what's really happening. And I don't know whether or not you guys have got the guts to say it, but I do. Let me tell you what's the truth here. And the truth here is that they don't trust you Negroes with guns. They don't. They don't trust black people with guns. And they don't have the heart to say it. They see black men in the streets with guns. Legally, they think that only thing you could possibly do is to use them to take out your vengeance. And that's what they think. That's what this anti-violence group that was too afraid to give its name thinks of you. Black person with a gun? Oh no! They're going to kill each other. Because deep down they don't want to say it, but they think it. It's the soft bigotry of low expectations. What do you think when they're saying that you can't go down to the DMV and get an ID so that you can vote? They think you're incapable of doing it. They think you're incapable of living life like a normal human being. That being mainstream is beyond your purview because deep down they think that you're nothing more. Oh, I want to say it, but I can't. You know what I mean. You all know what I mean. The mayor doesn't have the heart to say it because he knows better. But that's what he's thinking. Think about what he's saying when he says that they're going to go around looking for trouble with guns in there. That will give them some sort of gun muscle that they walk around and, exact their vengeance on people who have plagued their community. You can't trust them. You have to trust us. The government, we're the ones who we can calmly deal with the problems that are there. Leave it to the professionals, they say. You can't be a professional. Let's just be honest. Let's be honest. They don't have a problem with other places being able to carry a gun, do they? Other communities in Connecticut, they drive around with a shotgun in the back of their pickup truck. There's nobody running around worried about whether or not they're going to shoot anyone. Oh, man, but you people who live in Hartford, you got a hankering to just shoot up the town. Come on, man. Let's just call it like it is. I know the drill. These people can't say, and you know what, Archbishop, with all due respect, you should tell them that. You should say it to their faces. What? You don't think we can handle ourselves with a weapon, with a pistol, with a piece because we're black? You know what they'll say? Well, no. Them boys will be backpedaling like they're going back in time. I would never, ever say that. But you think it? Come on. Come on. Tell the truth. See, I'm for it. And it's not because I believe that these people are going to go out and be vigilantes. It's not because I believe that they're going to go out there and just go exact some sort of retribution on people who have plagued their community. I think that other people will respect the fact that there are other law-abiding citizens walking around with a gun who have been trained to use it and won't be firing that weapon sideways like they're in an episode or in the video game Grand Theft Auto. I think that they'll respect those people walking through the streets. Some of those people are grandfathers. Some of those older men. Now, some of them are younger children, younger people, but I call them children. I mean that relatively. But some of them are younger people. But those people who are walking around patrolling their community, they should. What you got? You got no problem with that if this was a community watch thing, right? If this had been any other community, would you have frowned upon it? Maybe the problem is because it's Hartford. Huh? That you don't see them as equal. But you know what? Forgive me. Of course you don't. I just realized this. Of course you don't see Hartford as equal. Of course you don't see those communities as equal. They clearly don't play an equal role in any society, right? They're practically ne'er-do-wells, right? They have nothing. They don't make any money. They can't afford their homes. They can't afford their heating bills. They don't have adequate schools. Everything about their community is inadequate. Why would I put a gun in their hands? Right? Why would I ever do that? Why would I think that it was okay to put in a bunch of inadequate people in charge of their own communities? Because they're so inadequate, the only way that you can get them out of their situation is if government does it. Right? You guys, the professionals, you're the ones who they've elected to get them out of that situation. Sad part is you've not been able to do that. For decades, for generations, you haven't been able to do it. Hartford still is Hartford. East Hartford is still East Hartford. West Hartford is still West Hartford, if not worse. And so somebody has had enough of you claiming you're going to fix it and decided to do it themselves, and you're like, no. One, because you don't think that they can do it on their own. How dare these Negroes decide that they're going to go out there and patrol their own community? And guess what? If they realize that they can do it on their own, who needs you? Who needs you? And if they don't, you're irrelevant. Can't have that. Can't have that.
Take a break.
That's why you want to stop it. You can't just come out and say it. But like I said, a lot of these people are suckers. A lot of these people are punks. Can't tell the truth. That's why we do it here. We'll be back. It's Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
What if there is a murderer walking among us?
Follow the clues. Solve the mystery.
This village really is a place where murder is easy.
Agatha Christie's Murder is Easy, a brand new BritBox original series, is streaming now, adding to the largest collection of Agatha Christie, including Miss Marple, Poirot, Why Didn't They Ask Us, and more.
The whole collection, it is magnificent.
Stream the best of British TV, only on BritBox. Start a free trial at BritBox.com.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Beyonce's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help.
Michael A. in the house. What's up, baby? Sokolowski, what's going on?
Indeed can help her hire.
And thank you. You're right.
I need Indeed.
Every community needs to do this. John Beckman in the house. How are you?
Virtual interviews, all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Networks make it possible to share data from lots of places, like a bird sanctuary.
Good eye. There is a typo. Thanks.
But to make them powerful enough to deliver new opportunities at the edge, you need CDW and Aruba. CDW experts can help design and implement an Aruba Edge Services platform, which unifies, secures, and automates network environments everywhere, so you can translate data into innovation.
Sorry, do you mind? This is confidential.
Aruba makes visibility at the edge possible. CDW makes it powerful. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
People,
Whoa, a minute.
Attention business owners.
You got it.
Tired of those empty credit card fees cutting into your
Charles Barkley's getting heat.
Exciting news for you.
Oh, what do he do now?
Nah, he said anybody wearing a Trump mug shirt would get punched in the face. He said he would punch him in the face. And so now he's getting backlash. Love it.
$49 a month. Our patented software gives your customers.
A lot of those guys know a lot more than what the average human being knows once you get up there to that
terminal, online gateway, and
$100 million, $50 million status.
Oh yeah.
Available in all 50 states.
Now you're privy to other information that other people aren't.
Processing fees for good. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, call 800-396-1177.
Martin Luther King School of Social Justice. What is that?
5% on processing. 61171 and make the change today. That's 800-396-1171. Again, 800-396-1171.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
And we're back. Thank you, Big Voice. Roland as well for the bumper rotations. I'm always thinking that's my favorite part. I'm not going to lie. Nothing against James in Buffalo. Roland is my favorite producer of all time. Cooksey, you too. I love you, Cooksey, but Roland is my favorite executive producer.
Yeah, boy.
Mark in West Hartford just sent me this list of this Calling All Brothers World Tour. I'm sorry. I don't mean to rag on him. God bless him. God bless him. Calling All Brothers 2023. The Welcome Back to School Greeting Tour. They put on a full flyer. So one of the schools that they're going to, that they went to last year on August 29th, was the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. School of Social Justice. Okay, two words come to mind: redundant and superfluous. It's the Martin Luther King Jr. School. You don't need to add social justice. You don't have to do that. It's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. School. We get it. And Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't even for social justice. He was for civil rights. Social justice. That's a made-up nonsense word. By the way, in the next hour, I am officially donning myself as dumbass-ologist. Okay? Apparently, you can just come up with an ology. I am going to dub myself as dumbass-ologist. I can discern whether or not you may be suffering from dumbass. We will explain that in the next hour. Let me give you a hint. Apparently, there is a practice called suicidology. Just, I can't with these people. Just, really? Really? So I am doing dumbassology. And whoever these people are, wait until you hear what wait until you hear suicidology, where it's being applied. It's the most insane story you will hear. But as soon as I read it, I went, what? There's no way this is true. It's true. We'll break that down. But let me put a bow on this. And again, anyone from this organization, right, from these gentlemen from Cornell Lewis to the Archbishop, any one of them who wish to call up here and talk about this, again, not only am I giving you praise, but I want to talk about the untold truth about what the mayor and this whatever this anti-violence group is talking about. I want to talk to you about that, and let's put them on notice. Let's make them say the difficult part out loud. They just don't trust black men with guns. They won't do anything with the illegal ones that are out there in the hands of black men. But citizens taking their community into their own hands. See what I did there? Not taking the law into their own hands, taking their community in their own hands. Decided to clean it up, to make it, to refresh it. Doing that themselves, not waiting for the government to do that, not waiting for the elected officials to do the work that they can do themselves. But not when let's just call them out there, and maybe you should. Maybe you should knock on their doors right at City Hall and say right to them, hey, buddy, what's your problem with young and vibrant and citizens in the community who care about it, who are going to patrol those communities to keep them safe? What's your true problem with us holding on, having a concealed carry weapon on our streets at night, keeping the block safe so another child doesn't have to do their homework in a bathtub or on the floor? What's your problem? Give us a guarantee that you're going to make sure that these families live safe lives, and we'll be happy to get off the streets. But until then, we'll patrol them. That's all you have to do. Just take it to their face. Forget about the news media. They've got no interest in this. They're stenographers. These people are stenographers. Go right to them and put them on blast. Say, hey, Mayor, what's your problem with black men, with law-abiding black men having a gun in the community and patrolling it and keeping it safe? What's your true problem? Make him say it. You know what he's going to say. Well, I've got a problem because, with the event that someone might do. Yeah, just say it. Don't be a chump. Say what you think. Tell the truth. I don't even think they got the guts to do that. So Mark Christopher's in the BPS traffic center. So it turns out we got another wrong way crash, this time with a police officer. And you and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. This is getting insane. Mark? Oh, he's not there yet. Okay, maybe he's coming soon. Anyway, yeah, I saw that report and I was just like, again, I'm saying every time we turn around, it's another one. It's always daunting. Do we have the detail? I don't even think we have the details on whether or not that was another, I guess, alcohol or under the influence related crash as well. At least I haven't heard anything about that. Mark Christopher, you there yet?
I am right here.
Oh, here he is. Mark Christopher's in the BPS traffic center. Hey, Mark, how are you, sir?
Doing well. How are you today?
I'm trying my best, man. I think I'm gonna have to stir the pot a little bit. I may get a little angry on the mic today, but
well, you know that's gonna create a lot of callers, so we'll see what happens.
God bless him.
The traffic report being brought to you by Mohegan Sun RV and Camping Show.
My boy was late today.
Yeah.
Right now.
He was grumbling. He must have had to bathroom break or something.
Losing some speed now, 48 Capitol Avenue into the tunnel. Westbound 94, no problems. Burning out into the Farmington exits. 291, 384 moving well. 2 eastbound's okay into Glastonbury. Quiet Middletown, quiet Waterbury. 91 in the Parkway, easy ride heading down in toward New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
RVers, it's back. The Sun RV and Camping Show sets up camp March 15th through the 17th at the Mohegan Sun Earth Expo and Convention Center. Get show-only pricing on hundreds of new RVs, plus see product and service exhibits. For advanced tickets and show information, visit nervshows.com.
One day, same day, 7 days a week, you can be treated at Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. With an on-site digital dental lab, you'll save time and money. Call 860-730-6030 or visit columbiaimplantcenter.com.
WTIC weather. Wind advisory in effect until 1 a.m. Tuesday. Very windy and chilly the rest of this afternoon. Sunshine, patchy clouds. Combination of saturated soil and gusty winds can bring down trees and power lines. High 46. Clear, windy, and chilly tonight. Low 35. Breezy and turning milder tomorrow. Plenty of sun. High 61. Partly cloudy tomorrow night. Low 35. Partly sunny and warm Wednesday. High 65. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and kicks off a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. And as you heard in the weather forecast, wind is the word for today, and plenty of it. And it is having an impact on the power situation. Eversource is reporting just over 11,000 of its customers offline as those winds ramp up to 40 miles an hour and above. Again, a wind advisory is up for the state. A near 3 decades long career serving the Hartford Police Department is coming to an end for its chief, Jason Thody. Here's WTIC's Greg Little.
Though he's not renewing his contract as chief, a position he's held for the last 5 years, he says the department's in good shape with state and national accreditation and no longer under federal oversight. But he says the last several years have been challenging.
A global pandemic, the murder of George Floyd and the resulting demonstrations, increased violence, immense attrition and staffing shortages across the nation, and the loss of Detective Bobby Garton.
Mayor Aruna Navarambalam says the transition to find a new chief is an important one.
I want to make sure that before we accept any applications, before we talk to any candidates, before we even build out a job description, that we are engaging the public, engaging the community in a process that's really community-driven.
Though he's worked for the department 28 years, he says his departure date is still to be decided. Greg Little, WTIC 1080 News.
Yet another case of wrong-way driver in Connecticut. This time, the incident occurred in Westport. State police say it was around 3:15 Sunday morning. They were dispatched to Interstate 95 on a report of a vehicle traveling north in the southbound lanes. Troopers found the suspect vehicle in the median after it had been involved in a collision in a construction zone. No injuries were reported. It was during their interactions with the driver, 22-year-old Corey Gomes, that police say he had bloodshot eyes and there was an odor of alcohol in the vehicle. Gomes failed a field sobriety test, according to police. Now charged with OUI, reckless driving, and other offenses. He's been released on bond and is due in court next month. There was also a wrong-way crash in East Hartford early Sunday morning where the driver was traveling the wrong way on Route 2 and ended up hitting a police cruiser. There were no injuries in that incident as well. And more of these types of incidents have the State Department of Transportation going into overdrive to put in detection systems. The DOT has been working on the efforts since last year. Once installed, they involve flashing red lights, and they alert state police of drivers who have entered divided highways in the wrong direction. The state is installing systems in Farmington, Newtown, Danbury, Naugatuck, and Torrington this week. The DOT's Samaya Hernandez.
Those are what we call activations. So all of the towns and cities that I just listed, we're going to go out this week and activate those systems so they will also be online. And then looking ahead at the end of the week, the end of the month, we're going to be activating another 8 locations as well.
U.S. is working to rescue Americans trapped in Haiti as gang violence runs rampant there. State Department spokesman Matt Miller says they're still trying to figure out how many are stuck there.
It's not safe for a number of them to leave right now, and they're not able to leave right now because the airport has been damaged and commercial carriers have suspended flights. So what we are asking U.S. citizens to do today is to register through our crisis intake form, which you can get through the embassy's website, and we will communicate with them the best information we have when we have it.
Secretary of State Blinken's in Jamaica meeting with Caribbean leaders on the situation in Haiti. The president is in New Hampshire, where he outlined his vision to lower costs for the American people.
He talked about his administration's efforts to reduce prescription drug costs.
I'm doing everything I can to lower the health care costs to provide people with peace of mind, not at the expense of doctors or drug companies, but just to make it fair.
Also not fair, he says, is the nation's tax code.
Does anybody here think the tax code's fair? Raise your hand. Well, I don't think so either.
He says a tax code is how we invest in things which make this country great.
From healthcare, education, defense, and so much more, research, development.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Closing bell report sponsored by Bouvier Insurance. Dow up 46, NASDAQ down 65, S&P down 5. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
A happy
minute.
In many colors. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. During our spring sales event, special offers are available through April 30th. Schedule your home painting project today and bring happiness home. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Already feels like home.
With Aer Lingus and Bradley International Airport, your vacation possibilities just got more exciting. Fly non-stop from Hartford to Dublin with great fares available now. And since Dublin is our European hub, make your trip 20 times more fun with connections to over 20 cities across
And 10 and you'll have like a minute and a half.
Rome. From epic coast sprints to city tram lines, you can explore it all. Visit airlingus.com to book your flights today.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I love that Aer Lingus commercial. I love that. I love the Irish accent. It's my favorite. Her accent is beautiful. I can listen to that all day. Some people like English accents. I don't. I love Irish accents. You ever see that movie called, I don't even know if that's Irish. Is it Scottish in Bruges, with the one with Colin Farrell? I think that's an Irish movie. Oh, I love that movie. This is one of my favorite. I love that rough Irish accent. I'm going to talk about Haiti as well later on. Remember all those people who were wearing Haiti is already great T-shirts? Do you remember that? Everyone was wearing that. Haiti is already great, you know, to combat Donald Trump calling certain places a ish-hole country. And they had, Bill Maher and Conan O'Brien talking about Haiti's already great. Where are you now? Where are you now? Somebody sent me a video, a very gruesome photo, or video, I should say, of what's going on in Haiti. People are taking videos of Haiti. It ain't. I think the video had to be taken down. It's that gross. And I can't even describe it. I can't even describe it. But send me an email. Send me a message on reasonoradio.com. That's reasonoradio.com. I will, I'll send you the description of what it is. I think a listener of my podcast, we call him White Mike. He sent this video to me. He says, be careful. It is a little gross. I didn't even watch it. I just read it. And I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm okay. It's that bad. It's that bad. Well, it shouldn't be that bad. Or maybe, with all the wind, in fact, I wonder if that's playing a role. Let's go to the BPS Traffic Center where Mark Christopher is. The wind playing a huge role in some of the traffic today?
I would definitely say if you're driving a tractor trailer, you're going to have two hands on the wheels.
Yeah.
Because, that trailer could get really knocked by some heavy winds right now, which are really gusting up, between 40 and 50 miles per hour. So look out for that. Southbound 91 coming into Hartford, you're looking pretty good overall. No major problems there. Northbound 91 looks good. Cromwell up through downtown up into Windsor. 84 eastbound just slowing a little bit in the tunnel. Westbound 84, no problems. Vernon out into the Farmington exits. If you are traveling 291, 384, looking good. 2 eastbound's okay into Glastonbury. Quiet Middletown, quiet Waterbury. 91 in the Parkway, moving well toward New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
It'll stay very windy the rest of this afternoon. The wind advisory in effect until 1 a.m. Wind gusts the rest of today, 40 to 50 miles per hour. Mostly sunny from here on out and chilly with a high of 46. Clear tonight, still windy, particularly before midnight, low 35. Sunny tomorrow, milder than today. Breezy, but nowhere near as windy as today. Tomorrow's high up to 61. Partly sunny and warmer on Wednesday. The high is 65. Right now it is 46 degrees in Bristol. It's 44 in Torrington and 47 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
For quality vinyl siding, the Peter L. Brown Company is your best choice. It's winter, and we need to keep our crews busy, so ask us about our winter specials. Please visit peterlbrown.com for roofing, siding, windows, and doors.
You've heard about the thousands of patients finally getting relief from chronic joint pain thanks to QC Kinetics non-invasive treatments. And here's one who was determined to avoid surgery. Meet Vicky.
The orthopedic surgeon said, well, you're going to need knee replacement sooner rather than later. I kept hearing commercials about QC Kinetics and thought, well, I'm going to check them out first.
QC Kinetics has treated over 20,000 patients like Vicky around the country. People who were told they needed surgery but chose a more natural, less invasive approach that uses regenerative treatments to help heal and restore painful joints with no downtime.
If QC Kinetics had not been what I expected, I would have gone through with the surgery, but I got so much relief, am now pretty much pain-free that I don't have to have the surgery.
Before going under the knife, you need to check out QC Kinetics. The consultation is free. Call today.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
1 minute.
I'm Benjamin F. Chavis Jr. with the good news brought to you by Better Help. Music is the universal language. John Roger Stevens, also known as John Legend, continues to sing and make recording industry history. The good news is that John Legend gives back to underserved communities across America and throughout the world. Success is also measured by what you do for others.
What's the first thing you'll do if you have more time in the day? Nap, read, talk with a friend? Knowing what's important to you, it's easy to fit it into your schedule. Therapy can help you figure that out. BetterHelp offers affordable online therapy. Start the process in minutes and switch therapists anytime. Visit BetterHelp,
In 10, you're going to 27 and a half.
to get 10% off of
Good
your
to go.
first month.
You got Joe from Simsbury on.
Okay, yeah, let's take him.
On the USBC network, brought to you by BetterHelp.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It is your girl, Cammie. And I want you to know that when I listen to the radio, okay, I listen to Reese on the Radio.
We're back. NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. Telephone number 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. My good friend and freedom fighter extraordinaire, Joe in Simsbury, is on the line. Hello, Joe. How are you, sir?
Hi, Reese. How are you today?
My pleasure, sir. I'm always great, and thank you for calling. What's your take, sir?
So I'm going to tie the first part of what I'm going to say to the Garden Street situation.
Yes.
Here. So yesterday's Hartford Current, there was, my apologies there. There was an article talking about, front page article talking about people supporting Trump or supporting Biden. And one of the things that jumped out at me was the people supporting Biden seem to have an issue with the way that Trump is with women. And we all know that, at least those of us that are paying attention, that the real person with the issues with women is Biden.
Clearly.
Biden he sexually assaulted one of his aides. Secret Service wives have complained about him.
Secret Service agents as well.
Yep. And then the big one was Ashley Biden's diary that was stolen by people, and they ended up going to jail for stealing it.
That's right.
When she was in rehab, where she talked about inappropriate showers with her father.
That's correct.
So how does this tie to Garden Street? Well, I tie it to Garden Street because the reason Garden Street is even being discussed and why this is occurring right now is that people are afraid. Kids are afraid, families are afraid, these grandfathers, etc. They're actually afraid, and that's why they're doing that. And here's my tie-in, is that they're afraid because they have empathy for other people. And similar to those Biden voters who think that Trump shouldn't be president while they're totally ignoring the worst things that Joe Biden has done with females,
right?
They lack empathy. So the people that are speaking out against the Garden Street people, they also lack empathy.
That's right.
Because if you really break it down, the fact of the matter is that if you truly had empathy, you would not speak out against it.
Yes.
You might say, hey, thanks for the wake-up call. We're going to do something about it so you don't have to do it.
That's right.
But your empathy should overcome the issues that are making you think that they're doing something wrong.
Right. The urge to criticize.
I don't know of anyone who's emotionally healthy that wouldn't say, wow, I feel real bad for these people that they feel they need to do it. They're all afraid. That's terrible.
That's right.
That's empathy.
That's right.
Same thing with
How
the
do we?
voters. Oh, I'm not voting for Trump. You know, well, do you have no empathy for his aide?
Right.
Do you have no empathy for his daughter?
There's such a good point here.
What's wrong with you?
There's such a good point here that you're making. Again, you know, because I think that the group that was sort of named or not named in this, the anti-violence group that didn't give their names, or at least the particular reporter didn't give their names. And of course, the mayor of Hartford having a problem with this, again, was more about the people doing something than what was being done to them. And I think that's the connection, as you said, about the empathy. They to say that, and to cast that aspersion, as the Archbishop said, that they're going to go out there and do vigilante justice, instead of saying, hey, clearly these folks think, like, and they don't give them the benefit of the doubt that says, you know what, things must be so bad in Hartford that these guys sought to go out there and patrol themselves. What are we, not even a self-reflection, what are we doing wrong, or how bad is it really in Hartford that they had to do this? He has no interest in that. And you're right, it has everything to do with empathy.
Yeah, if I felt that I would be welcome on Garden Street, I have no problem helping those folks. I'm just not sure I would be welcome. And but that comes not from wanting to be Charles Bronson, the newest version of Death Wish. It comes from realizing that if they're doing that, there's little kids that, like you said, they're doing their homework in a bathtub.
That's right.
There's little kids that are afraid, and the parents aren't letting them out.
That's
There's
right.
no way for people to live.
No way.
So if you're worried about your politics, or you're worried about, the police union may be mad if you support these people, how about just worrying about fixing it and being truly empathetic and not being a narcissist, and allowing your feelings to say, this is pretty bad. We're dealing with it. Thanks for pointing it out. Sorry you got to this. Let's work it out. And they don't do it.
Yeah. And even, you know what?
They don't feel.
Joe, you know what's an interesting part? Even if folks like Cornell Lewis, even folks like the Archbishop here, even if those were some of the people, and again, I'm giving them a pass, and Mark is right to bring it up, but I'm kind of giving them a pass. Even if those people have in the past have said things like defund the police, I'm not suggesting that they have, but if they've been critical of the police and all that stuff, in saying that they are, they're harassing citizens as opposed to protecting them, even if they had said that, this for me says they kind of took that in saying, you know what, the police aren't doing anything for them. The administration isn't doing anything for them. They've decided to take it in their own hands and protect them. And with that, I say, you know what? They didn't just complain, they stepped up. Because that's why I said, if you criticize the police for what they're not doing or what they are doing that may be detrimental to the community, you step up and do the things that you think the police department isn't doing. And that's the reason why I had to give them credit, because they did the one thing that I've been complaining about for the longest. No one is being accountable for their own community. They're doing that, so I applaud it. That's why I'm at this position.
Wait until something happens in our society where this type of these types of groups are necessary in the suburbs.
Wow. Yeah.
And people need to remember that anyone who stands up, who's in a position of power and says, "Oh no, don't do anything to protect yourself," that is not about 2024, 2025 type issues. The ability to protect yourself as a human being and protect your family and those that are weaker than you is from before the written word was ever taken. So do not tolerate people saying, no, you can't legally protect yourself and protect those people that are afraid. We're the ones in charge. I'm sorry, but you're in charge for a year or two, maybe 4. I know enough about, human history that when people were grunting, and groaning at each other to communicate, they were protecting each other when they were afraid.
That's right.
And anyone who tries to take that away, needs to be put back in their place so they know where their place is.
Exactly. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Joe in Simsbury, God bless him. I just got to do it for him. It's just for the freedom fighters in general. Listen, I talked about this last week, I think. I may not have said it here, but one of the things that I thought was, and it always went back to when I was a kid, when the 44 caliber killer, David Berkowitz, you remember, Son of Sam, in 1977 was wreaking havoc through New York. I lived in Queens, Southside Jamaica, 114th Avenue and 199th Street. House is still there, 114-16, 199th Street. I'll never forget it. And what was it? 100? No, sorry, 119th Street. I apologize. 114-15, 119th Street. Anyway, when I was sitting there and I was about 7 years old, I remember people walking down the street and they were shouting, "We're going to get you, Son of Sam. We're going to get you, Son of Sam." People were walking through my community doing that because they felt terrorized. And they had decided they were going to go out there with flashlights and weapons, and they had crowbars and all that stuff walking through the neighborhood. "We're going to get you, Son of Sam." They were certain he was in their community because the news media had everybody up in arms. They had him frenzied that you couldn't find this guy and somebody was going to be next. But the people marched through the streets. "We're going to get you, Son of Sam." And then I watched that movie, Son of Sam, by Spike Lee, and he actually put that in the film. And I remember I got chills when I watched it. I was like, oh my God, I totally remember that when I was a kid. That's what they were doing. So again, this is, I know people have this problem with neighborhood watch thing, George Zimmerman, I know that. But you know what? Those things are necessary. You can't put an end to them because you have one incident, and from what we turned out, that actually, it didn't turn out the way that people thought it was. Let's go to Craig in the car. Craig, you're on the Reese On The Radio on the Todd Feinberg Show.
Reese.
Hey, Craig.
Pleasure, my friend. What a pleasure.
My sir. Thank you.
Since this is a sincere question, how do I, as a 50-something-year-old white boy from the country, show support and solidarity with the folks in Hartford?
Okay.
And there's a reason why I'm asking.
Yes, sir.
The reason is because I think this is an enormous opportunity to change hearts and minds about conservatism and the Second Amendment, et cetera.
Oh, yes. Yes. That is a very good point. Okay. Here's what I would say. Let's get some information on the Archbishop, on Cornell Lewis. Let's get some information on them. Let's reach out to them. Roland, do we have a number on the Archbishop? Can we get in touch with him?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see if we can reach out to him, and we'll see if we can get him on the air before 6 o'clock today, Craig. And I will make sure that you get that information. Can you go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com and contact me? And even if you're not listening, I'll get that information to you.
100%. 100%. I was streaming you until we lost our internet because of the weather. So
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's do that, because I believe that what you're talking about is important, because this, again, even if it's not about conservatism, it is about Second Amendment rights, because that's the one thing I think that these evildoers, as I like to call them, take advantage of the most vulnerable because they don't know what their rights are to protect themselves, and they don't take advantage of them. And this is a perfect opportunity to utilize that. And, again, what the mayor is doing by shaming these people is if to suggest if they've got a gun in their hands that they're going to do harm to people unjustly is again, you start we shouldn't have more people out there with guns. If there are more guns, there are going to be more shooting. It's like these people have training. They're doing the things that are necessary to make sure that they can protect their loved ones and their community. We have to encourage this, folks. And we have to get past the idea that because they're black that they can't do it. Because again, trust me when I tell you, that's the underlying thing here. That's what's sitting up here. They're saying, you're gonna put guns in the hands of black citizens? Are you sure they're not just gonna kill each other? Come on, man. Come on. You know that's what they're thinking. They just don't want to admit it. Let's see if we can get Archbishop on and see if what kind of help he can get. People would listen. That's what he needs. He needs encouragement. That whole group not only needs encouragement, but they need support to know that what they're doing, people believe in. That's how you get people to go the extra mile. Let's go to Fred in Middletown. Hello, Fred. You're on with Reese On The Radio on the Todd Feinberg Show.
Hey. So disarmament is a United Nations that is New World Order agenda.
Yep.
So any of these freaks, they're against any gun thing, and certainly anyone representing guns in the hands of citizens. Well, so they're against it right there. Secondly, the Panthers. Okay. Well, first, let me set that up by saying you said about a broken clock being right twice a day with regard to Cornell Lewis. Mark took a shot on. I never heard Cornell Lewis. Mark gives you the bad news first. But God uses one scumbag to do in another sometimes.
Yeah.
There's a saying, we become what we pretend. If this guy poses a certain way, well, and if he just sees if he's just ahead of the curve and he's riding this, well, God bless him, let him do it.
That's right.
Yeah. And then one other thing, so now back to the Panthers actually had a sort of good beginning.
Mm-hmm.
As I understand it anyway, there was some intersection where kids were getting killed, the cars were just racing through, and they started posting up with rifles
Mm-hmm.
to slow the traffic down, and it worked. And then, of course, they were just, some massive grift and all that Marxist crap.
Right.
What's his name was just a drug dealer and a murderer, Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis. Huey P. Newton.
Yeah.
Huey Lewis. Don't defame Huey Lewis. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. But so they were like a militia. And then, of course, Ronald Reagan, everyone's hero. He's kind of the father, I think we've discussed this, of modern gun control.
That's right.
He had to shut the Panthers down. And closing with that, the Nation of Islam, I think they're rocking militia status.
1 minute.
They can post up with rifles legally and legit.
Right.
Militia.
And you know what's so interesting, Fred? That group, the FOI, the Fruits of Islam, one of the most respected groups. Those gentlemen, when they marched through cities of Chicago, that neighborhood, talk about the complete 180. When they walk through, they show that organization such respect when they see those men walking through with bow ties, man. It's amazing how that...
You makes the man in bow ties, and never mind that Louis Farrakhan is not.
Yeah, exactly. Just something happens that when you see that FOI walking through and they're marching through, it's like the whole dynamic, like there's a sense of civic pride that comes through when they... Again, I can't frown on this. That's why I said, look, man, even a dumb, falls prey to a good idea now and again, man.
Right.
Thank you, Fred. I appreciate it. I got to take a break in a minute, but I'm telling you, when we come back, I got to get into this dumbassology. When we return, I promise you it's going to be good. But first we go to Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Clearly, no dum-dum when it comes to traffic.
Otherwise, a big dummy. It's coming into Hartford right now, Reese. You are seeing slow traffic 91 southbound 33 down to 32 A and B. If you're on the northbound side of I-91, smooth ride as you make your way up from Cromwell up through downtown, up into the Windsor exits. If you are traveling on the east and westbound side of 84, westbound 84 a little tight coming out of the tunnel up to 47. Eastbound 84 losing a little speed as you move into the tunnel. 291 through 84 okay, so the river 2 eastbound moving well Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 southbound's a little slow as you approach the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. Looks good east and westbound 84 and Route 8 north and southbound in Waterbury. 91 in the Parkway moving well toward New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Traffic brought to you by jpcarrollroofing.com. Trust your home's biggest protector to J.P. Carroll Roofing. Our family-owned company will turn your roofing needs into beautiful, solid realities. Visit jpcarrollroofing.com today and experience a hassle-free journey to a secure, beautiful roof. J.P. Carroll Roofing, protecting your roof and everything underneath it.
WTIC weather.
The powerful circulation around a strong area high pressure just east of Maine will keep it very windy across the area the rest of today into tonight. A wind advisory is in effect until 1 a.m. Tuesday. Sustained winds of 20 to 30 miles per hour, frequent gusts to 50 miles per hour. The combination of saturated soil and gusty winds can bring down trees and power lines. Sunshine, a patchy cloud cover the rest of today, high 46. Feeling colder with that strong gusty wind. Windy and chilly tonight, clear, low 35. Wind chills tonight in the 20s. Breezy tomorrow, but nowhere near as gusty as today. Plenty of sunshine. Noticeably milder tomorrow afternoon, high 61, then partly cloudy tomorrow night with a low of 35. The warm-up will continue on Wednesday, partly sunny, high 65. A great day to be outside. Warm weather will then continue on Thursday. It could be a shower later Thursday or Thursday night. Showers are more likely on Friday. This is meteorologist Bob Larson in the WTIC Weather Center.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. And now, a WTIC News Update.
4:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Winds have been whipping across the state this afternoon. A wind advisory remains in effect. Gusts topping 40 miles an hour. That's keeping Eversource crews busy. The utility reports nearly 12,000 of its customers offline this afternoon. Hartford police have arrested suspects in 2 homicide cases. They picked up 35-year-old Joshua Dupre of New Britain in a December 23, 2023 shooting that left 32-year-old Christian Lopez dead. Also under arrest, 23-year-old Louis LeBoy for the January 11th fatal shooting of 19-year-old Julius Rivera. Hartford Police Chief Jason Thody has announced his retirement. The 28-year HPD veteran says he'll not seek a contract renewal and will move on. Mayor Arunan Arulampalam says he is seeking community input in choosing the city's next top cop. State police had their hands full with wrong-way drivers over the weekend. They arrested Robert Washam for driving the wrong way on Route 2 in East Hartford and hitting a police cruiser early Sunday morning. Also, 22-year-old Corey Gomes was arrested on similar charges Sunday in Westport on I-95. Both were charged with driving under the influence. There were no injuries in either case. With the situation in Haiti growing ever more tense with gang violence turning into anarchy, Secretary of State Blinken is sitting down with Caribbean leaders today in Jamaica. This as the State Department works to rescue Americans that are still trapped on the island. And the Princess of Wales is apologizing for confusion caused by her altering of a family photo released by the palace. The image of Kate and her kids was intended to calm concern and speculation about the princess's health, but it had the opposite effect. Several news agencies that initially published the photo, including the AP, withdrew the image over concerns about digital manipulation. On Wall Street, Dow finished up 46 points. Down day for the NASDAQ, losing 65, and the S&P lost 5 points. Women's college basketball tonight. Top-seeded UConn takes on 6th seed Georgetown in the Big East title game down at Mohegan Sun. 7 o'clock tip there. NBA, the Celtics continue their West Coast swing out in Portland against the Blazers. NHL, the Devils take on the Rangers at the Garden. Isles skate in L.A. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Ben, this is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and you've heard me talk a lot about how treating low testosterone can improve your sleep, your workouts, your energy levels, and more. But today I want to talk about your sex drive, because low testosterone can have a significant impact on your desire for intimacy. It can even be a factor in erectile dysfunction, and if you're in a relationship or wanting to be in a relationship, a low sex drive could really be a problem. The good news is that if you're like most guys, treating your low T could really change the way you feel about sex, giving you back that flame and desire desire that is so important when you love someone. So if you're feeling sluggish and tired, if you're not sleeping well, if your workouts aren't that great, and most of all, if your sex drive is more like a putt, make an appointment at Northeast Men's Health and have your testosterone levels checked. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices in the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Hurry up.
One minute.
Hot shower. Yeah, we'd all like to. Hot water hug.
That's it. Family meeting. We can all enjoy long, steamy
There we
hot
go.
showers. Even the last in line, which it seems is always me. But go ahead. Have that imaginary argument of what you should have said. Take your time. With our new high-efficiency Navient tankless water heater, I'll never take a cold shower again. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com to learn more.
Consumer Cellular, you get the same exact coverage as the largest carriers, but for up to half the cost. Same thing, up to half the cost. Up to half the cost for the same thing. 50% the money for 100% the same thing. I hope I'm making myself clear. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Half the cost savings based on cost of consumer cellular single-line 5GB data plan with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single-line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plan offered by T-Mobile and Verizon May 2023.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Back into it, folks. Let's keep it popping. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. Look, what is it? BLM 860. BLM 860. I know.
Rudy, if you want.
Oh, Rudy. Okay, hold on. I'll get to Rudy in 2 seconds. We've got BLM 860. Here's an opportunity. Don't let it go to waste. I'll be here tomorrow too, but let's not let it go to waste. You want to be impactful? Here's how you can be impactful. Okay? Let's send a message to the mayor. You and me both. A coalition. You and I. 2 different sides of the political ideology here. The people of Hartford wish to maintain some order in their community, to put an end to the violence, to make the streets safer for its community, showing them that the lives in those cities matter. Black lives. Get the connection? I'm with you on this. I know you're with me on this. Get on the phone. Here's an opportunity for a representative. I don't care if it's one of the lackeys. But I would like to speak to a representative. Come in here and tell me that you can see what the mayor is saying about your community, that you are not responsible enough to protect yourselves, that you need them. Tell them that you won't stand for that you and your constituents and the people in that area, they can protect themselves. They have the know-how, they have the ability, they have the will to protect everyone in their community. Unless you don't believe that, and you're like the mayor, you don't think that a black man with a registered pistol can patrol his neighborhood as good as the cops, that you don't believe he's capable, and I don't believe that you think that. So here's an opportunity. Or if you see it a different way, give me a call then too. Tell me that I'm looking at this all wrong. You're looking at this all wrong, Reese on the Radio. Give me a call. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. I know you're listening. I got word. I know you're listening. Anyone, you can, and you'll have free reign. I'll let you talk my ears off. Just have at it. Let's go to Rudy. Rudy's in Florida. Hello, Rudy. He's going. Oh no, that's right. I can't go to Rudy yet because that's right. Because I gotta go to the BPS traffic center. But okay, we'll wait just a couple of seconds before we go to Rudy. I'm sorry. I have to look at the clock. I'm getting used to this. It's been a while. Forgive me, Rudy. I will get to it. But folks, 860. Come on, BLM 860. Let's go. And let's get the Mark Christopher in the BPS traffic center.
For burning out into the Farmington exit. Southbound 91 delays 33 to 32. Northbound 91 moving well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291 through 84 okay east of the river. 2 eastbound moving well into Glastonbury. It's quiet in Middletown. Looks good in Waterbury 84 and 8. 91 in the Parkway. Easy ride toward New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Wind advisory in effect till 1 a.m. is
Did he go early?
this afternoon. Into
I think he did. He heard me say his name and he just started.
Yo.
That's all right. This time he was on time.
Sunshine tomorrow, becoming milder. Still breezy, but not as gusty as today. A high of 61. Partly
I had to make sure because he's coming off another station doing the same thing, so I didn't know if he was.
Yeah, me too. That's why I thought he was on another station.
It's 44 in Plymouth and 47 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
An orthopedic surgeon makes understanding pain painless.
It's the biggest frustration that patients have.
This is Dr. Pamela Mehta talking about aches with unexpected origins.
I see patients with pain in their knees, their hips, their back. Oftentimes, the pain is actually coming from their feet.
Bet they aren't expecting to hear that.
Those patients are super surprised. They can't believe that the pain in their knee isn't coming from actually inside the knee. But if you think about it, the feet are the base to your whole body.
That's why she suggests personally fit arch supports. Emphasis on the personal fit.
If you get something basing it just on your shoe size, it isn't going to fit you properly.
And if it doesn't fit well, it probably won't work well.
Go get arch supports fitted to you. It's as easy as going into a Good Feet store.
You heard the doctor. Try Good Feet for yourself with a free fitting and test walk. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Good Feet is located at 25 Climax Road in Avon.
Paid for by government.com.
1 minute.
A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 50 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-456-2466, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-456-2466. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-456-2466 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-456-2466.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It is your girl, Cammie. And I want you to know that when I listen to the radio, okay, I listen to Reese on the Radio.
And we're back at Reese on the Radio. Mark C. says, let's make a new show called Deep Dives and dive into some of the lost stories. You know what? I believe in that, Mark. I totally do. Michael A. says that maybe the mayor of Hartford doesn't like the citizens of Hartford showing him up. That's probably true. For them to stop that violence in that community, he can't take credit for it. It's a very good point. But he shouldn't condemn them by saying that those people are going to be vigilantes, right? You don't do that by mocking them and their efforts. You go and support them. Yeah, like BLM mural that was hit with graffiti, and whatever happened to the artist. That's a great question, Mark. But let's go to the phones. I'm sorry. Rudy in Florida. Thank you for waiting, Rudy. You're on Reese on the Radio on the Todd Feinberg Show.
All right, before I beat you up, I got to give you credit for some stuff.
Okay.
Your two-story house, that whole joke
yes.
flies at work. But, and I don't want to give a liberal credit,
yes.
but your wife's statement, because down here it's endless summer, and the girls are wearing the yoga pants that don't leave much to the imagination.
Right.
And you see, I go the other day, the whole host staff was laughing at these two girls outside waiting for a table. Mm-hmm. I'm like, just because they make it in a size 20 doesn't mean you should wear it. I gave your wife credit for that.
That's right, because it was my wife who said that. Okay, so what are you going to give me grief about?
Oh, This is a caller-driven station.
I'm sorry, a who?
A caller-driven station. Like
Yes.
the caller's volume. And we've had fill-ins before, though, that have only done podcasts.
Yeah.
And they forget that there's people trying to call in to talk to you.
Am I not taking a couple of phone calls? I'm taking a lot.
Well, you took one in the first hour.
Oh, you know what? Okay, I took one in the first hour because I had a lot of stuff to get out. That's not my fault, though. I don't want to throw anybody.
Two callers that in the house.
Yeah, exactly. It was only 2 callers, but whoever who called in got on.
Okay. I'm more scared of a black man with a white woman. And do you watch college sports? I'm going to get into the real stuff, but the college sports lately, I watch a ton of college basketball.
Okay. These
Players that are really, really good have white mothers and black fathers. And I'll give you 2 examples. They played at Northwestern together, and they were white girls on the basketball team, married black men, and they produced Baldwin, who plays for the Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
And Max Christie of the L.A. Lakers.
Right.
And Max Christie's little brother is a freshman beast on Minnesota.
Well, with Steph Curry, too.
Yeah, and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
In football.
Yeah.
It's like there's something going on that when a white female athlete hooks up with a black athlete, you're creating this very good athlete.
This is sounding a lot like eugenics, sir. No, I'm kidding. No.
I'm dying for Chicago to wake up and do what Hartford's doing. I want to see these Chicago guys patrol their streets.
Yes.
And because they're starting to have problems with the illegals causing violence.
That's correct.
And I don't blame these guys in Hartford, but you could. I can't. Joe can't. Mark can't. We can't go in there and help them.
No.
You can't be a white guy in a gun trying to help black people.
No. But hold on. But wait. Don't think that they don't want, listen to me, do not think that the people of Hartford don't want their support. There are some people in the community who believe, right, that they don't want, and I hate to use the term because I think it's a stupid term, but they don't want a white savior in Hartford. They don't. Right? They're not looking for that. So the response can't be, how can we help them in the sense of showing up there? We could support them by saying things like we're saying on the air. Look, people think that this is a good idea, right? By saying, look, people agree with us that we should take not the law into our own hands, our communities into our own hands. The biggest problem that we have is we've been waiting for somebody else to save their community instead of relying on themselves.
Correct. And they don't need a wealthy white guy coming in there.
Exactly.
Walking down the street with a gun.
Opening another program.
Right. And they don't need the governor sending the National Guard in there.
Right.
I want to know, though, if something does go down, because, if Joe from Simsbury shoots someone going through his front door,
right,
especially if it's a minority,
right,
they're probably going to arrest him, even though he's standing his ground and protecting his property.
Right.
They're going to arrest him to make him prove that he did everything he could
to avoid shooting him. That's
So if a black pastor and one of his crews shoots another black man, are we going to see anything about it? Is there going to be no bail? And Here's what I'll say. Here's what I say.
Connecticut has got a different. Listen, Connecticut doesn't have that problem. You want to know why? Because Alvin Bragg isn't a district attorney in Hartford. That's why. Okay. Daniel Penny.
Release everyone with no bail.
That's what I'm saying. Daniel Penny. If Daniel Penny happened in Connecticut, in Bristol, it would probably be a different story. Okay. Probably.
If it happened where I live, Sheriff Grady Judd would have had a county holiday and paraded.
Is Judd your sheriff?
Yeah.
I love him.
That is why. We had that big sex trafficking ring Joe brought up last week in Franco's. You see, illegal crime happens in everywhere. Florida's not immune.
That's right.
Yeah, we are immune because he dragged these people. He got people from 14 states, 3 different countries, and guess what? They're all in jail without bail.
Yes.
They don't get released. They're going to prison. They're getting deported. Send all these thugs down here and see what happens to them.
Exactly.
We actually prosecute, and we'll build more prisons. We stand by the law. You need Grady Judd up there for like 3 days.
For 3 days, right? They'll change the whole thing. I would
arrest him for police brutality.
I'll take some Sheriff Arpaio while you're at it. I'll take him.
They want him to run for governor, and he doesn't want to be a politician.
Nah, I hear you. Let me move on. Thanks, Rudy. I appreciate it. Before we go to George, let's go to Lester. Lester's a new guy. Let's go to Lester and Madison. Hello, Lester.
Lester's gone.
Lester's gone. Okay, then we'll go to George. Hello, George.
Hi, Reese.
Hey, what's going on, sir?
Hi, Reese.
Yes, sir, I can hear you. Go on.
Yeah. Hi, Reese. We had the same problem in the city of St. Louis.
Okay. Yes, I know you do.
We had Teshra Gardner for St. Louis mayor.
Uh-huh.
We had a progressive prosecutor. It was Kimberly Gardner.
Yep.
Was the progressive prosecutor. So crimes were committed, killings, and the prosecutor wouldn't even charge a lot of the cases.
Right.
So it was a failed Democrat government, like all of the Democrats, with the schools and illegal immigration, and just go right on down the list with the economy. It's a failed political party all the way around. I have no idea why people continue to vote for Democrats, because they don't do anything. They obviously don't perform.
George, but again, remember what they're doing. The people who are voting for these failed policies, right? The ones who are voting for the failed policies are voting for the things that these policymakers are doing. Right? So the restorative justice is something that they stand with. They do not see criminals as criminals. They believe that they have some sort of issue that has plagued their lives, that has led them down this path to commit crimes, and they shouldn't be punished for that because of their lot in life. So that restorative justice, we know it's failed, but they don't think so.
Something that's pertinent here, Reese.
Mm-hmm.
They're not on the other side of the gun.
No, they're not. You're 100% right.
They're not the ones being shot at.
That's right.
So the city of St. Louis still has a murder probably once every 3 days or so, and people are afraid again to walk the streets. Businesses are leaving. They are getting out of there.
Yeah.
They don't. When you have murders every other day, it's quite bad for business.
I wouldn't serve any of these communities who haven't done anything. Look, I look at Hartford this way. Hartford is saving itself from itself in doing this, right? Because remember, if these gentlemen can make their neighborhood safer, businesses will stay, if not come, because they know that people are taking care of their own. They know that they frown upon illegal behavior happening in their community, and they stand up against it. That's the thing that invites more people to your communities. When people ask, talk about white privilege that they have in certain, people have privileges because they live in safer neighborhoods, because they care about their neighborhoods. They don't have just HOAs. They have these, what are these other groups that they have here? I know I've got one here. They've got home associations that they crack down on garbage. And one guy pulled up on me the other day because I had my trailer sitting in the street. Even though I keep it in the street so people will drive slower on the block, he told me I had to remove it, but I had to put it back in my driveway. But guess what? There are rules and regulations that I have to follow in my community that they don't even have in cities like Hartford, because they allow them to just pretty much run amok in those towns. Now someone's saying enough is enough. We're going to have standards so that we don't lose our standard. We don't lose a way of life. And maybe they'll recognize when it's all said and done, that some of the policies that were implemented by guys like Rudy Giuliani in the 90s might work for places like Hartford, Connecticut. Even Kathy Hochul has recognized that stop and frisk is necessary, because that's where they are today.
Reese, our governor Parsons,
mm-hmm.
he wants the authority to go in there and fire progressive prosecutors. He wants to go in there and remove them from office and install people that do the job for the people and protect the community.
Yeah, it's it's sad, because people need to recognize, it is unfortunate if a majority of the people who are being put in prisons are black, but we cannot get under or find ourselves under the impression that because they are black, they are unjustly being accused, or if not charged with crimes. If they are, do we have to have them on videotape in order for us to say that that's a reasonable reason to put them behind bars? Is that what we need to do? Does everybody have to be videotaped doing the crime?
Little kids coming up aren't going to have any kind of a chance, aren't going to learn, the law if Democrats continue to control the streets like this.
It's true.
Kids are not going to have any better chances ever.
Yeah.
They're never going to be able to come out of the crime scene.
Yeah. Thank you, George. I appreciate it. Fritz is in the chat room. Fritz says that, what is Ned and his gun grabbers going to say when there is a shooting by this group? Oh my God, the guns are bad, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you know what? There's a good point, Fritz, that you make about that. What's going to be said is they will then condemn this group by saying, see, I told you they're vigilantes. But they will stop one step short, and they know it. They're going to have to. Because, again, if I'm the Archbishop, get ahead of that now. Start telling the mayor, start telling the governor now. What's this about young black men or older black men who are trained, who are going out there getting the information that they need to have in their possession in order to patrol their communities? What's your problem with us having a gun in our communities to protect ourselves? And just come out and say it. Is it because we're black? Is it because you don't think that black men can patrol their neighborhoods effectively without just running around shooting everybody willy-nilly? Just come out and say it. Just come out and say it. And push them on that and see what they say. Because I don't think that anyone, I know Ned doesn't have the heart to say it. I know he doesn't. And I'll go so far as to say, Ned, I dare you. Just tell the people of Hartford you don't trust them with a gun. And tell them why. Just come out and say it, but I know you can't. And you can say that nonsense about you don't feel that way, but why else would there be a reason for it? Why else would you have a problem? Why else would the mayor have a problem with this if it wasn't about the color of their skin or the community in which they live? If it isn't about that, what's it about? Huh? What's it really about? We all know. I think they're scared to death. Come on, Black Lives Matter 860. Come on. Come on. This is an opportunity. Huh? Black Lives Matter in the whole thing. Right? Come on, look, I'm applauding you. Just call up. 860-522-WTIC. 860-522-9842. I mean, this is an opportunity. You talk about saving black lives, folks. Try this on for size. Hartford protects itself. The community gets safer. The police are no longer called because the town has policed itself. And we never have another officer coming in and pulling out his gun, shooting another disenfranchised, unarmed black man. And we don't have a senseless life taken by the hands of police. Isn't that the utopia that you want? Isn't that the utopia that your mission statement was all about? You should be applauding these men. You should be applauding these women. You should be applauding this community, getting behind them. How are we doing on the Archbishop there, brother? Did we get a number on him? Did we try to reach out to him?
Yeah, I got a number. I haven't called yet.
Okay, all right. So during the break, when we get to the top of the hour, see if we can get him on the phone while we go to commercial. We'll go to the BPS in a second. But we'll see if we can get him on the line and see what we can get to help, because we'll get Craig some information. Let's see whether or not we can get them more help. And if we can't get it from Black Lives Matter, we'll see if we can get it from some white lives. I mean, since the mayor's concerned about being shown up, perhaps we can show up Black Lives Matter by getting a bunch of white folks in Connecticut to help the black community. Huh? I mean, let's be honest. We all can pitch in. Why not? Don't we all want Hartford to be safe? I think we do. In fact, from the phone calls, it sounds exactly like that. Let's not wait for anybody else to do it. Let's all chip in. All of us. Because we're all a community, It takes a village and all. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with our good friend Mark Christopher. See how the village is doing on the roads.
Well, the Village so far is doing okay this afternoon. We do have a couple of issues, but right now in Hartford looking pretty good. Southbound 91 delays 33 down to 32A and Big Quiet. Northbound 91, Rocky Hill up into Windsor. Both sides of 84 quiet. Farmington to Vernon, 291 through 84 okay. 2 eastbound moving well. Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound, a little tight as you approach the Aragoni Bridge in downtown Middletown. Got some debris in the roadway, and this is in Haddam. 9 southbound between 19 and 15. The right lane is out there, so look out for that. If you are heading in toward the Waterbury area, that looks good. 84 to 8 to the Mixmaster in construction. 91 in the Parkway, okay, into New Haven. 95 southbound delays 46 down to exit 44 in New Haven. And in Middlebury right now, Route 63 shut down at Woodside Avenue, tree down in the roadway there. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Let's Save Lives. An Introduction to Suicide Prevention is an education program designed by and for the Black community. To learn more, go to afsp.org/chapters. AFSP is an I'm Listening partner. Learn more at imlistening.org and on the Odyssey app.
WTIC weather.
Powerful circulation around a strong area high pressure just east of Maine will keep it very windy across the area the rest of today into tonight. A wind advisory is in effect until 1 a.m. Tuesday. Sustained winds at 20 to 30 miles per hour, frequent gusts to 50 miles per hour. The combination of saturated soil and gusty winds can bring down trees and power lines. Sunshine, a patchy cloud cover the rest of today, high 46. Feeling colder with that strong gusty wind. Windy and chilly tonight, clear, low 35. Wind chills tonight in the 20s. Breezy tomorrow, but nowhere near as gusty as today. Plenty of sunshine. Noticeably milder tomorrow afternoon, high 61, then partly cloudy tomorrow night with a low of 35. The warm-up will continue on Wednesday, partly sunny, high 65. A great day to be outside. Warm weather will then continue on Thursday. It could be a shower later Thursday or Thursday night. Showers are more likely on Friday. This is meteorologist Bob Larson in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and kicks off a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
It's 5 o'clock, Hartford temperature 45 degrees. Good afternoon, I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The defense at the manslaughter trial of State Trooper Brian North is expected to rest its case tomorrow. Testifying will be 2 experts who determined North's shooting of Mubarak Suleiman was justified. The state inspector general says the shooting was not justified. Defense attorney Frank Riccio says it is important for the jury to know that it was the state that initially hired those experts.
The state of Connecticut retained these 2 experts. And even though Attorney Devlin was not the inspector general at the time, it's under the umbrella of the state of Connecticut. The state of Connecticut retained 2 experts that issued opinions that the state disagrees with. I think that's incredibly relevant.
Judge H. Gordon Hall ruled the experts will not be questioned on who initially hired them. In 2020, Mubarak Suleiman led police on a high-speed pursuit before being surrounded in a West Haven underpass. Trooper North says he thought Suleiman was about to attack officers with a knife when North opened fire, killing him. After 28 years on the force, 5 as chief, Jason Thody is stepping down from the Hartford Police Department. Departure date hasn't been determined. He made the announcement today with Hartford Mayor Arunan Arulampalam. The chief says the department is state and nationally accredited for the first time in history. And later this week, he says the department releases its 4th annual report,
which will outline a 5-year strategic plan that furthers that foundation for important work to do in the coming years. The department is no longer under federal court oversight for the first time in 50 years. This is because we were able to show that the Hartford Police Department is a model for the state and the nation in progressive policing.
Thody says he will stay on to assist the mayor in appointing a successor. It's been a wild day out there weather-wise, not so much rain. It's been pretty sunny for the most part. It's the wind. Gusts reaching 40 to 50 miles an hour. We've got a wind advisory up through this evening, and that has had the Eversource folks busy this afternoon. As of 5 p.m., the utility reporting 10,736 of its customers without service. President Biden is pushing to pump new life into a bipartisan border bill.
He spoke to the National League of Cities Conference in Washington, pushing the bipartisan border bill that stalled last month.
This bill would save lives, bring order to the border. It has the funds that many of our cities badly need as well.
Polls show immigration is a top concern for voters.
Correspondent Nicole Skanga. Natural gas customers in Connecticut would be able to get refunds on overcharges levied by pipeline companies under legislation being proposed by Senator Richard Blumenthal. The bipartisan measure would give the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission the authority to determine the money to be given back to ratepayers. The CEO of Avangrid, Pedro Velazquez, says utility companies such as his are subject to regulation.
When we run our business, it's an open book. Everything is reviewed 20 times, 30 times. I think in this case, that should apply to other parts of the business or the chain, the energy chain, which I think is important for the customers.
Blumenthal says FERC can determine if there have been overcharges by pipeline operators, but can't do anything except reset those rates. And the heads of those agencies tasked with keeping the United States safe
change in the way
have been on Capitol Hill today.
I'm Peter King. The threats outlined by the directors include the wars in Gaza and Ukraine. CIA Director Bill Burns.
The Ukrainians are not running out of courage and tenacity. They're running out of ammunition, and we're running out of time to help them.
Burns says U.S. aid is essential, while walking away could have dire consequences far beyond Ukraine. As for Gaza, he says the U.S. is trying to broker a deal for the release of remaining hostages, the 6-week-long ceasefire, and more humanitarian aid. But he says there's no guarantee of success.
What I think you can guarantee is that the alternatives are worse.
Peter King, CBS News.
Dow up 46 on Wall Street today. NASDAQ down 65. S&P down 5 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hey, it's Matt Soroyce here with a huge update. I've now dropped 80 pounds. Thanks
1 minute.
180 weight loss. 80 pounds.
Yeah, his the number that we have on file is his church number, so nobody answering that.
And other diets. Awaken 180 flipped the script on what I thought was possible. And now I'm only 20 pounds away from the century mark. Losing 100 pounds all by eating to lose weight. You know, I was once eyeing those weight loss injections, but with the slow progress and a laundry list of those side effects, had me searching for something better. That's when I saw Tom Shattuck's astonishing 85-pound weight loss with Awaken 180 in just a short amount of time. No side effects, quicker results, but the real game changer? The weight has stayed off. Free support for life as well. Only Awaken 180 offers that, because this isn't just a quick fix. It is the long-term solution for weight loss. So what are you waiting for? Reserve your West Hartford, Cromwell, or even at-home consultation today at awaken180weightloss.com. Let's make the impossible possible. Again, awaken180weightloss.com.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It is your girl Cammie. And I want you to know that when I listen to the radio, okay, I listen to Reese on the Radio.
I don't know what this crazy thing is with my wife and baby cows. We're never getting one, you crazy woman. If you need to understand what's going on, listen to Pittsburgh.
Rick, what was the big takeaway today?
Yeah, Susan, residents of the city will see a major change in the way police respond. They will no longer respond to calls that aren't considered in-progress emergency. That means calls like criminal mischief, theft, harassment, and most burglary alarms will all be handled by an enhanced telephone reporting unit. That means residents will file a police report over the phone. Officers will not respond unless it's an emergency. Also, between the hours of 3 a.m. and 7 a.m., there will be no officers at any of the 6 stations throughout the city. Call boxes that link directly to 911 have been installed for people to use in case of an emergency. And during the overnight shift, there will be as few as 20 officers to cover the entire city. The chief said today the data supports that.
The police are leaving in droves. The police are leaving in droves. What do you want them to do? What do you want the citizens of Hartford to do? Recruitment is down everywhere, militarily. Police, defunding. What do you want? What are they going to be left with? Thank you for calling the Hartford Police Department. Please leave a message after the tone and someone will get back to you at 8 a.m. when we return. That's what's going to happen. We're almost there. Thank you for calling the Hartford Police Department. If you've been involved with a burglary, an attack, or a carjacking, press 1. It's getting there. Let's go to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon, everyone. And if you're making your way into Hartford on the southbound side of 91, that delays 33 down to 32 A and B. Northbound 91 moving well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Both sides of 84 easy ride. Farmington and Vernon. 291 through 84 okay. So the river to eastbound moving well. Glastonbury and Marlboro. Quiet Middletown. Waterbury's okay. 84 and 8. 95 southbound delays. 46 down to exit 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Wind advisory in effect until 1 a.m. Clear tonight. Remaining windy, although the winds beginning to subside slowly after midnight. Tonight's low at 35. Tomorrow sunny and breezy, not as windy as today, and milder than today. The high is 61, partly cloudy. Tomorrow night, low 35. Partly sunny and warm on Wednesday with a high of 65. Temperatures now range from 45 degrees at East Hartford to 46 in Bristol. It's 47 in Hartford. I'm Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or e-gift card. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
Living with multiple sclerosis requires comprehensive care and ongoing support. Trinity Health of New England's Mandel MS Centers are internationally recognized leaders in innovative MS care and research. Our dedicated MS experts provide clinical care, supportive services, and rehabilitation for complete and lifelong care unique to your individual needs. Visit trinityhealthofne.org/MS. trinityhealthofne.org/MS.
With Aer Lingus and Bradley International Airports, your vacation possibilities just got more exciting. Fly non-stop from Hartford to Dublin with great fares available now. And since Dublin is our European hub, make your trip 20 times more fun with connections to over 20 cities across Europe, including London, Paris, and Rome. From epic coastlines to city tramlines, you can explore it all. Visit airlingus.com to book your flights today.
Over 10 years,
realized
how important saving family memories was, and we wanted to help. Legacy Box started from that passion and has now helped over 1 million families digitally preserve their film reels, VHS tapes, and photos. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. What started with the two of us in a garage is now over 200 trained professionals. Legacy Box is a safe and secure way to put all your favorite family memories on an easy-to-view digital format like a thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud.
We ship you a sturdy Legacy Box to fill with all your
30 seconds.
Safety barcodes to track your items throughout the process, and a prepaid mailing label.
Thank you, sir.
Legacy Box has been featured by Good Morning America and The Today Show. Not bad for two kids in a garage.
That's true, Nick. And here's the best part. We always wanted to make it affordable to preserve your entire collection. So we're offering 50% off.
Visit legacybox.com. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. That's legacybox.com/value to save 50%. legacybox.com/value.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
As I said before, I am going to now don myself as dumbassologist, recognizing those who are acting like a dumbass, elected officials especially.
Dumbass.
Connecticut schools are required to put tampons in boys' bathrooms. Critics say it's part of a political agenda. You think? An article by Allison Cross in the Hartford Current. After more than a year on the books, Connecticut's menstrual equality law has jumped into the national spotlight. Last month, after a tampon dispenser in the boys' bathroom at Brookfield High School was allegedly destroyed within 20 minutes after it was installed, the incident was swiftly condemned by the school's principal. but debate over the policy that led to the dispenser's installation lingered, drawing the attention of national news outlets, conservative commentators, and Elon Musk. The law, which ultimately passed in 2022 as part of the massive budget package, requires that all schools to provide free menstrual products to students in grades 3 through 12 in women's restrooms, all gender restrooms, and at least one men's restroom by September 1st of 2024, as a way to combat, wait for it, period poverty in Connecticut classrooms.
Dumbass.
Period poverty is what they're calling it, folks. Period poverty. Discontent and disbelief over the menstrual equality law have brewed among Republican lawmakers since its passage. Allison, no Democrats, no liberals, none had an objection to this, just Republicans. This is really a partisan issue, Allison, on the real. Quote, why is the state forcing schools to install these machines? Because this is just another attempt to push progressive ideology that neither I nor many parents within the district agree with. This, according to Rep. Gail Maestro Francesco, said in a statement last April, after the Walcott School District installed menstrual product dispensers in the boys' bathroom of an elementary school.
Dumbass.
There are biological boys and biological females. Offering female products to young boys is ridiculous and only causes confusion at a young age. Maestro Francesco added, we're talking about grammar school students, and what the state should be worried about is teaching reading and writing, science, and math. Again, I want to make sure that this is right, Allison. Just Republicans have an issue with this? Not just mainstream. How about independents? Independents are okay with this? Grammar school, period poverty? Is that what they're concerned with? Do you think that that is something that the independents have been holding on, making sure that this administration, the Ned Lamont administration, make sure that they mandate that? Is that what the independents are? Like, I was just thinking the other day, Ned needs to work on getting those period products in the grammar school boys' bathroom. Hurry up, quick, fast, in a hurry. Why aren't they stepping it up? Those things should be in there yesterday. Just the Republicans, Allison? Anyway, last June, Senator Rob Sampson introduced an amendment that would have struck down the requirement that schools offer products in at least one men's restroom. It failed in a vote that fell along party lines. The problem is Republicans. Let's make sure that we get this right. The problem is not the Democrats saw that we should hurry up and do it now. Put tampons in grade school male bathrooms. Okay. In a statement to The Current last week, Sampson questioned why the state would mandate access to menstrual products in boys' bathrooms starting in third grade. No, make sure we get this right. This is what Allison wrote. In a statement to The Current last week, Sampson questioned it. He questioned it. He says, quote, that doesn't begin to make sense. As the leading defender of civil liberties in the state legislature, I can say with confidence that people are not angry at how others choose to live their lives. We embrace that as Americans. They do, however, have a problem with the clear intention to promote a controversial political agenda into our public schools, particularly when it involves innocent children. Again, problem with prayer in the schools. Tampons in a boys' bathroom? No problem. Controversial. To question it. Right? Just let that sink in. Advocates argue that the legislation comes down to equity and need. pointing to the fact that certain students and staff who use men's bathroom, including those who are transgender, non-binary, or intersex, may menstruate and need access to period products. This is about meeting a need for folks where they are when they need it. This is according to Janet I'll just call her Janet Alfano. These are simple, everyday items that we hope will not cause issues for those who don't feel comfortable around them. Alfano is the executive director of, wait for it, Diaper Bank of Connecticut, a nonprofit organization that also runs the she also runs the Connecticut chapter of the Alliance for Period Supplies.
Dumbass.
I want to say it again. The Connecticut chapter of the Alliance for Period Supplies and advocated for the passage of the menstrual equity law in 2022. She says, quote, at the core, what this bill is about is giving those who menstruate access to supplies that they need where and when they use them. No one should feel that they have to go to a special location or a different location other than where they use restrooms to access those supplies. While some districts have already started to roll out the program, and God bless them, others are taking a back seat until the mandate officially kicks in. Quote, to my knowledge, very few districts implemented the program early, and most are waiting for the start of the new school year. This according to Sherry Dinello, the Director of Government Affairs for the Connecticut Association of School Business Officials. Dinello said that the reason for this is twofold. The deadline for implementation is September 1st, 2024. Additionally, Dinello said schools are anticipating funding to offset the cost of the program, which they have yet to receive. In my head, I keep hearing this and I'm going, there's a diaper coalition, there's a period supply coalition. This article goes on further, right? Excuse me, let me get to this before I get to the phone calls. I got to get to the part that really, really blew my mind. This is, okay, someone by the name of Kirill Ivan Stocklow. This is a really a hard name for me to pronounce. I'll try it again. Kirill Ivan Stocklow, Staklo, Stocklow, is a suicidologist and the program director at Peer Pride, a trans-run support and advocacy organization based in Connecticut. Ivan said the ultra-feminine associations with periods can make menstruating emotionally difficult for people who do not identify as female. And he is a suicidologist, and I looked this up. Suicidology is invented, of course. Suicidology. It is the scientific study of suicidal behavior, causes of suicidalness, and suicide prevention. Every year, about 1 million people die of suicide, which is a mortality rate of 16 per 100,000 or death every 40 seconds. Suicidologists believe that suicide is largely preventable with the right actions, knowledge about suicide, and a change in the society's view of suicide. Why do we need a change in view in suicide? Are we trying to let suicide become more mainstream? What the hell does that even mean? Suicide. To the phones we go. Let's go to Dave in Brantford. Hello, Dave. You're on with Reese On The Radio.
I didn't expect to. How you doing, Reese?
I'm good, man.
I want to go quick. That was quite a good send-up, which proves those people are not statureable. They don't even get their own joke. How stupid they look. And it was a very good send-up. I greatly appreciate it. I have a simple question.
Yes, sir.
In the first hour, you were talking about the trained gun owners
who
would be patrolling the streets in Hartford. And you made a side reference to the thug rap sidearm posture.
Yes.
We see in the media.
Yes.
My question to you is that a real thing, or is that just an artifact of TV, that they aim their gun side-handed, which exposes them as gun-handling goobers?
No, that's a real thing. And hold on, I've got one for the effect of radio. Although some of you who are watching on ReeseOnTheRadio.com, you can see me do this. So I want to show it to you while I describe it on the air. So in order to keep the shell casings from hitting shooters in the face, you will see some young men fire with their arm covering their eyes, right across their eyes, so that when they fire the weapon, the shell casings would fly up in the air, doesn't hit them, right? And they don't get burned or hit in the face. So they're firing with one arm and they're shielding themselves with the other, which of course objects their vision. So they're just firing randomly because they've either been hit in the face with the shell before or they don't want any kickback. It's a weird thing, but that's, aside from shooting sidearm, they also shoot like that when they're covering their faces. And I've caught this on film, on CCTV. I've caught this on film where these young people are out there shooting, you know, hopping up and down and shooting with their hand and covering their eye with their arms. It's really crazy.
All right, thanks for the explanation.
No problem.
I've noticed it on, thug rap and such. That is the way you hold a gun to prove your street cred, and it's just dumb. Gun handling goobers. Nice to talk to you, Reese.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's the most frightening thing. It's the most frightening thing to witness. But I can't believe So we have to have tampons in boys' bathrooms because there might be a suicide. And that's the reasoning. Now, my sister and I were in junior high school together. We went to different high schools, but we were in junior high school together. And maybe I'm wrong. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know what they do in the classrooms today. But I always thought that you could go to the nurse's office for a tampon. I always thought so. That's where you can go for a Band-Aid. You have a migraine. Go see the nurse. Right? Clearly, if you're having an episode, right, your menstrual cycle for a girl happens out of nowhere. Of course, young lady has that happen while she's in class. We've seen the TV shows to the movies where the girl ends up wearing white pants on that one day and then the accident happens and it's this whole thing and the girl is mortified and she ends up at the nurse's office and the parents are called and they're brought in. Why? Because of course something like this that happens to her, it's best that the parents are there and they come in and console the young lady and say, don't worry, it's a natural part of life and you're going to have to deal with this every month. We've seen it all. But they always end up at the nurse's office. They always have. A situation like this happens at the nurse's office. And they're talking about how they don't want anyone to be embarrassed, right? They don't want children to be embarrassed by this. Well, if they don't want people to be embarrassed by it, why would you put it in a public place like the bathroom, where there's a strong likelihood that someone will tease them, especially if they are transgender? You want them to be in the safest place possible. Wouldn't you? That doesn't make sense. This is a stupid, very dumb idea. Those who voted for it, and by the way, with all due respect, Hartford Current, the fact that you are trying to suggest that the Republicans are out of sorts for even questioning this, it looks bad. It looks bad on the part of the paper that anyone would suggest that someone who took issue with this is controversial. This does not make sense. There's a reason why we do things in the way we have been doing things for the longest, right? Because they work. Nothing is wrong. Usually, after kids have experienced their first menstrual cycle, when it first happens, They go to the nurse's office, they get a tampon, and then they are instructed that this is something they're going to have to carry in their purses or in their bag, and they're going to have to keep it, and they know that when their cycle is coming, and they never have to deal with it again. Some people will forget, but other girls or other females in the class will have something for them and help them out when it does happen. But you don't need it in the bathroom. This is about as dumb as a condom dispensary inside a public school bathroom. It's stupid. And everybody knows
way
it is.
stupider than that.
Right? It's exactly.
At least that's promoting safe sex.
Exactly. Thank you, Roland. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Mark, your children are grown, aren't they?
No, I have a 15-year-old.
A 15-year-old?
Yeah.
Do they go to public school or, because you're hoity-toity, did they go to private? No, I'm kidding.
No, he's in public school.
Public school?
I can tell you, if I was in high school and I walked into the men's room and I saw a tampon dispenser, I'd be afraid that I was in the wrong.
Yes.
I'd be like, did I walk in the wrong bathroom? But then I'd look and I'd see the urinals and I'd be like, then I'd be really confused.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I'm in the right place, but I think what I'm seeing is what I'm seeing.
I will always remember the scene in Pretty in Pink when Ducky is thrown into the girls' bathroom by the jocks, and he looks at how great the bathroom is, and he goes, "What's this going on? Is this a candy machine?"
Just don't bite into it, dude. Snowing by 33 Jennings Road, Northman 91's moving well. Rocky Hill through downtown.
The Archbishop just called, but it was too late, and he's got to go into a meeting. But he said he's sending you an email.
Beautiful.
Tony Bridge, Waterbury's looking good. 84 and 8, 84 eastbound in Newtown. Got some slow traffic by exit 11. If you are traveling down into New Haven, 91 in the Parkway looking good. 95 southbound delays 46 to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Traffic is brought to you by CapeCodFence.com.
It may be winter, but Cape Cod Fence Company in Canton is still installing fences, play sets, and sheds. Enhance your yard and get that project done before the spring rush arrives. Our expert crews are ready to go. Check out our products at CapeCodFence.com and get that fence in the ground now. CapeCodFence.com.
And now, a WTIC news update.
5:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. There will be a new top cop in the capital city. Chief Jason Thody announced today he'll not seek a renewal of his contract and retire. The 48-year-old rose through the ranks of the HPD, starting as a patrol officer and working his way up. Mayor Arunan Arulampalam says he will elicit community input in choosing Thody's successor. The chief did not give a firm date as to when he will leave. HPD has made arrests in 2 homicide cases. They say Jason Dupre of New Britain is charged in the death in November of Christian Lopez, and Luis Laboy was picked up in connection with a shooting of Julius Rivera in January of 2023. 2 more wrong-way driving crashes over the weekend in Connecticut. One occurred on Route 2 in East Hartford early Sunday, where a state police vehicle was struck, and another happened on I-95 in Westport in a construction zone. No injuries were reported in either incident. This as the state DOT continues to implement wrong-way driving lights and signage on busy highway exit ramps across the state. Former President Trump is seeking to delay his March 25th hush money trial until the Supreme Court rules on the presidential immunity claims he raised in another of his criminal cases. Palestinians have begun fasting for Ramadan. The Muslim holy month arrived with ceasefire talks at a standstill and hunger worsening across the Gaza Strip with no end in sight to the 5-month-old Israel-Hamas war. And Rock and Roll Hall of Famer John Fogerty will be making a return appearance at Mohegan Sun Arena later this year. The 78-year-old founding member of Creedence Clearwater Revival will continue his celebration tour with a stop on June 16th. Joining the party will be George Thorogood and the Destroyers and rock band Hardy Har. Fogerty recently regained control of the Creedence music catalog after a decades-long legal battle. On Wall Street, Dow finished up 46 points today. The NASDAQ lost 65. S&P was down 5. Women's college basketball, it's the Big East title game down at Mohegan Sun tonight. Top-seeded UConn takes on the 6th-seeded Georgetown Hoyas. NBA, Celtics are in Portland to take on the Blazers. NHL, the Rangers host the Devils, and the Isles skate in L.A. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Tune in to WTIC News Talk 1080 for Healthy Rounds, Saturday mornings 11 till noon. Learn from the top experts about the latest medical news and call in with your questions. Healthy Rounds, sponsored by Hartford Healthcare, Saturday mornings 11 till noon on WTIC News Talk 1080 and WTIC.com.
Networks make it possible to share data from lots of places, like a bird sanctuary. Good eye. There is a typo. Thanks. But to make them powerful enough to deliver new opportunities at the edge, you need CDW and Aruba. CDW experts can help design and implement an Aruba Edge Services platform, which unifies, secures, and automates network environments everywhere, so you can translate data into innovation. Sorry, do you mind? This is confidential. Aruba makes visibility at the edge possible. CDW makes it powerful. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Getting quality employees
1 minute.
in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're going to do it again tomorrow, too, folks. I hope you'll join us then as well. 860-522-9842. We got Mark in Goshen on the line. Hello, Mark.
Hey, Reese.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't know if you mentioned it, but that new law with the tampons, pads, whatever else in the boys' room, it's any school that has a third grade or older group of kids, too.
I did. It said, and it was interesting. Here's the interesting part. So when Allison Cross writes that in the current, she writes out the word third grade and then puts 12th, the number, because they don't want you to see the number 3. It's an interesting tactic that's done by journalists. So, yeah, I thought that was crazy when I read that. There was third grade till 12th grade, which I'm going, what, third grade?
Yeah, and it's not men's room. It's explicitly children's room.
That's exactly.
Boys' rooms, girl. Yeah.
Also a tactic used in the article, because she keeps using the words men's room. It's not a men's room in the third grade.
Correct. Yeah, and the law explicitly says boys, girls, or I'm not quoting it exactly, but it uses those younger terms.
That's correct.
Or, ungendered class or bathroom.
Right.
So it's just it's going on elsewhere too, and it's not legislated.
Mm-hmm.
Pediatricians are asking children, do you feel like a boy or do you feel like a girl?
It isn't. The crazy part about it is that it is turning into it's an industry now.
Yeah.
And I just watched this thing on the Daily Caller. They got their hands on one of the seminars for this, this transgender surgery. And one of the foremost surgeons in this space is talking about some of the mistakes that are made by these physicians or these surgeons who don't have enough experience, who have torn into the rectal area while trying to do one of these surgeries. It's really, really and it damages these people, because some of the people who are doing this surgery only have 2 years of experience. He says on there that people need far more experience in order to do this surgery, and there are too many people who don't have enough, who are destroying these people physically.
Yeah, and it goes both ways too. With the male to female surgery, what you're describing happens, and then the female to male, they're grafting thigh or arm skin on.
Yes.
That can get gangrenous and fall off.
Yes.
But and they're talking to this with children, 3rd grade and older. Pediatricians are doing it too. Someone I know, her daughter was asked, "Do you feel like a boy?" Imagine your daughter being asked, "Do you feel like a boy?" How insulted she must feel about her appearance.
Exactly.
They're traumatizing these kids, and they're making them question everything, and they're forcing this on them.
Yeah.
Which will do the opposite. It'll end up with more suicides.
Yeah.
But don't worry, there's a maxi pad in the men's room.
Good point, Mark. Thank you. Let's go to the BPS Traffic Center. Our good friend Mark Christopher. Hello, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon. And if you are heading toward Hartford, it's been a very good ride all afternoon. And
I'm putting together a squad. We gonna bust them things down.
Is that insane, man? I mean,
it's stupid. I watched
westbound side of
I almost fell sick to my stomach. I watched a interview and the boys was yelling at the host about saying we do. You're really sick to think that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the denialism of any, it's like the non-affirming that they call it, right? So we had a woman in Virginia, a woman who's from Venezuela. She is now a public official in Virginia. She proposed in the legislature to arrest a parent who would not refer to their kid in their proper pronoun.
Wowzers.
Yeah, I'm like, you fled a communist, socialist society, and you thought to do that. Like, how do you bring those qualities here? Like, you came here with the whole yearning to be free nonsense, and you actually want to put parents in jail?
In Hartford.
Crazy.
Meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Download the free upside.
Why she fled? She might have fled for that reason.
Probably so. Yes. It's, you flee that oppressive behavior to bring it here. It makes no sense. I love watching those videos of like actual Russians or actual Chinese people who fled their country talking to these people who are openly calling themselves communists, and they go, "Do you know what that means?" And usually these stupid kids don't know what it means.
Yep.
Nation's leader, what they call regenerative medicine. I'm talking lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a fact. QC Kinetics literally is transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue.
All this make you not want to have kids. That's what they probably want. They want
to
stop
that's
having
true.
kids.
Because they remember what they believe, right? They believe that children, overpopulation is the problem.
No pain.
Yep.
Surgery. It's an all-net.
We're gonna make everybody opposite, and then nobody's gonna want nobody.
Yeah.
And there you go.
In Connecticut, it's a great way to use that tax refund check too. Give QC Kinetics a call. 860-440-PAIN. Again, it's a free consultation, costs nothing. They have offices in Avon and New Haven and now in Glastonbury.
God damn it.
860-440-PAIN.
People might
1 minute.
Attention business owners, are you tired of those hefty credit card fees cutting into your profits? Well,
It used to be when you wasn't happy with yourself, you went to the gym, you started eating right, you started working hard. It's like
self-help.
You got some self-help, you got some confidence, it's like, what happened to that?
your customers 2 price points based on how
Now I need surgery.
credit card.
It's instant. I want the instant look. I
Right.
want the surgery. I don't like this. I want that.
And ACH processing. Our
Well,
package
that's the
solution is
process.
available in all 50 states, making it the go-to choice for thousands of businesses looking to eliminate processing fees for good. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, call 800-396-1171 now. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to save 95% on processing.
And 10, and we going out in style, dog.
Are we? What do we got?
And make the change today. That's 800-396-1171. Again, 800-396-1171.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Oh, you weren't kidding. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. News Talk 1080 WTIC. Rolling makes this place sound like a hip-hop station. All the news and all the views. I am the one and only Reese on the Radio. And don't, folks, never forget, go to reaseontheradio.com. It's reaseontheradio.com.
You got Joe in New Hampshire, Wayne and Morris.
Okay, good. We'll take them in 2 seconds, but I want to say to you, folks, I want to thank all of you who have been going to reaseontheradio.com, who have been listening to the podcast when you can, if you miss it, checking it out. Like I said, listening to the podcast keeps Reese on the Radio podcast going, right? We don't do a pay screen. You don't have to pay for anything. Listening to it actually it's monetized. It's monetized from your viewership, from your listening. So share it with your friends. Get as many people to watch it or listen to it as much. Well, just listen to it as much as possible, and you monetize it. And all the money that goes to the Reese on the Radio Rundown actually pays for the Reese on the Rundown to stay on the air. I'm not trying to make $1 million. I'm just trying to, balance it out. I mean, I pay for it out of pocket. I own it. It's mine. I don't do sponsorships and all that other stuff, but that's because to me, that's not important. I feel as though somebody might, they put a stronghold on you, when they do that, and I'm trying not to do that. I just appreciate you just listening to the program. There are already sponsors who are already latent into the podcast, so just listen to it, share it with your friends. Hey, check out my buddy Reese on the Radio. It's a good show, or if you think it's a good show, hey, and in fact, if you have some enemies and you think it's a horrible show, what a great way to get your payback. It's on reaseontheradio.com. Before we get out of here, I am going to talk a little bit about this debacle with Joe Biden at the State of the Union. I'll get into that in a second. Who's the first person we got on the line? Who's our first?
Joe in New Hampshire.
Let's go to Joe in New Hampshire, our good friend Joe in New Hampshire. What's going on, Joe? You're on Reese on the Radio.
Hi, Reverend Reese.
Hey, sir.
I'm shocked to hear you're on today. I was getting the news report, and I hear you're on.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Hey, I got a couple of things I'd like to run by you. 4 weeks from today, April 8th, have you made your plans yet?
No. Should I have?
Oh, it's the Great American Eclipse.
Oh, yes. That's right. A friend of mine just told me the other day, and it will be coming over Dallas and then going all the way to the East Coast.
Yeah, through the center of the country, northern Ohio, northwestern Pennsylvania, through Buffalo, New York.
That's correct.
And through northern Vermont into Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm making plans to get up to northern Vermont and experience 3 minutes of total darkness. People that have experienced it say it's a very spiritual time.
I have heard that.
It gives you pause about what's going on in the world and life, because a lot of memorable things in our history, has occurred with eclipses, moon and sun. But I'm planning on getting up to very northern Vermont. I think Shattuck said his wife has a cabin up there, and he may be there with her that day. It's on a Monday. So anyway, I just thought I'd let you know, because you're so busy, maybe I wouldn't want to see that skip by you. I've experienced an eclipse up to 98% back to 1970 here in Connecticut. The total went over Block Island and Martha's Vineyard, just off the coast, 100%. But I'll tell you, even 98%, here in Connecticut, is back in March of 1970. It gets darker, but not dark. It's like sunset, a few minutes after sunset, and it gets lighter again. The other thing I wanted to get about the State of the Union with Biden.
Yes.
Everybody's talking about getting the name wrong and, the comments. But what was totally left out, I heard him, he mumbled at the end of his comments.
That's correct.
He was saying it was an illegal migrant.
Mm-hmm.
But right after that, he said, and I wish you'd look up the tape, he said thousands of Americans are murdered every day or all the time.
By legals.
By Americans.
By legals.
He said,
I have it.
I thought he said by Americans.
No, he said by legals. Here's the audio.
He feels political win. He viewed it as a political win for me and a political loser for him. It's not about him. It's not about me. I'd be a winner. Not really.
Now, he was already screwing up here. He misread the teleprompter, because he said that it would be a political loser for Donald Trump and a political win for him. That's not what he meant to say. He screwed that up. Thankfully for him, Marjorie Taylor Greene starts screaming about Lake and Riley, and here's where he blew that up.
Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of thousands of people being killed by legals?
Yeah. How many thousand people killed by legals? I don't know what point he was saying there, but he was saying that we shouldn't be looking at an illegal alien killing Lincoln Riley because we have legal citizens who are killing people. So, no harm, no foul.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is so gross and insensitive.
It is.
That in itself shows that he is a bad character.
Mm-hmm.
Bad character.
Oh, but I'm going to go one step further with that one, sir. But I promise you, thank you, sir, and I appreciate you alerting me to that.
You have a good day, Rev. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. God bless. And who's our next one, real quick? Roland?
Wayne and Morris.
Oh, Wayne. Hey, Wayne. I haven't talked to him in a while. Hello, Wayne. How are you, sir?
Hey, Reese, how you doing? Great to hear you this afternoon.
My pleasure, sir.
Yeah, you were talking about the need for that civil patrol, in Hartford.
Yes.
It's kind of sad that it's come to that, but I believe it's necessary. If the government's not going to take care of this problem, then obviously the people have to take care of it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And the governor is no friend of the people here in Connecticut in regard to the gun laws,
right?
Because he brags Connecticut has the toughest gun laws, but yet all the people committing crimes with guns are getting away with it.
Doesn't seem to care about the exorbitant amount of people who are killed to gun violence in a state that has the strictest gun laws.
Right, and the other thing is he's always talking about equity. Equity this, equity that, but there's no equity between gun ownership and criminals.
Right, exactly.
Criminals have all their Second Amendment rights. None of these work to the effect that the Second Amendment rights.
That's a good point.
Just the citizens.
That's such a good point, Wayne. It's like all the criminals have their Second Amendment rights. It's the law-abiding guy that doesn't.
Right, and that's the state of Connecticut. The governor created that.
Yeah.
It's deliberate.
Right.
That's a deliberate move. He let them keep their Second Amendment. They don't have to take a test to buy a gun, a handgun. They don't have to apply for a permit.
Nope.
They don't have to go through any training. They just put down a couple $100 and they get a gun.
And isn't the crazy part, Wayne? The crazy part is that here, what they made evident in this story was every one of them said they're going out and getting the training that's necessary. They're legal carriers, right? They're doing everything that they're supposed to do under the law. And yet there's more condemnation for them than the people who are illegally carrying. And no one's even noticing that to the point they're saying something. In a minute, I'm going to read a statement by the Archbishop who just emailed me. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. That was it, Wayne. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, Mike, hold on for me 1 second. Let me read what the Archbishop Dexter Burke just sent me. He said, please see my statement below regarding the Chief Thody retirement. That's not what I'm looking for, Dexter. But anyway, he says, the answer to Hartford's public safety dilemma lies not in the replacement and retirement of Chief Jason Thody. It is more than minor changes in policy and practice. The solution requires a systemic dismantling of oppression, exploitation, and disregard of Hartford residents. Hartford residents are aware that gross inequities and failed policies are deeply ingrained features of the criminal and legal systems, and they are demanding real solutions that remedy those problems. The time for incremental reforms is over. The chief's resignation should come as no surprise and definitely no hope for meaningful change, since it is customary for police chiefs to be replaced when a new administration takes office. That's the statement that he released. But I want to talk to him. Archbishop, you need to come on and talk about what they're saying about your efforts to make your city safe by saying that you're going to be some sort of vigilantes. You need to address that. The administration, whatever is going on with the police chief, has nothing to do with what you folks are doing. You need to promote that and find out how we can get some help. But I'm going to email him and see if we can get him on the air tomorrow. Now let's go to Mike in Plainville. Hello, Mike. You're on Reese On The Radio on the Todd Feinberg Show. Mike, you there? Hey, Mike.
I would call that
speech, Dysfunction of the Union address. I don't even, no news, no State of the Union address. I canceled the Hartford Current. I'm about ready to move to Montana. Hello?
I didn't hear you. Say that last part again.
I'm about ready to move to Montana at this point.
I know a lot of people who are thinking about that as well. Look,
Look, people watch these addresses and they say, "Oh, he did a great job." They probably pumped him up with vitamin D and drugs for 3 days.
You're talking about Biden. You're talking about Biden.
I'll be talking about that dysfunctional. I can't use the language. I'd like to.
Let me go. Listen, I'm going to go into that. I'm going to go into that, Mike, in a minute. Give me 2 seconds to get into that, because I will, because I only got a little bit of time. But I appreciate the call, sir.
He's not.
Oh, anyway, let me go into this, because again, that Lincoln Riley thing with Joe Biden calling him an illegal.
Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right.
Now, again, people went nuts about him calling Lincoln Riley's killer an illegal, almost to the point, and let me tell you who this pressure was from. This pressure was from his own party, Democrats, and the news media, who made a lot of hay about this, to where he was pushed. This is him talking to Jonathan Capehart of MSNBC. And when he first starts talking about his exchange with Marjorie Taylor Greene, Joe Biden is smiling up a storm. Yeah, she tried to get me, but I got her. He's just smiling, grinning. You know, he's got lipstick on his ears so wide. And then Jonathan Capehart goes after him about the illegal thing. And all of a sudden he changes his tune.
I noticed the look of surprise on your face when you walked into the chamber and you saw Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. It was priceless. You feigned shock at seeing her. But during your response to her heckling of you, you used the word illegal when talking about the man who allegedly killed Lincoln Riley.
An undocumented person. And I shouldn't have used illegal. It's undocumented. And look,
let me tell you why there's a problem with that administration. They can't call them undocumented. But here's even more important. Seize this. Seize on this now. I've been using the term migrant on the air for a long time, and some people called me on the air and told me that I shouldn't. They said, knock it off. They're illegal. Let me start by saying you're 100% right, and I was wrong. I was using the zeitgeist, the turn of phrase that had become commonplace in news media. They are illegals. And I will self-correct. And this is the fight that we should have. Here's why. They're going to try to switch it into abortion. We should not let them. Let's have the debate on whether or not they're illegal or not. Let's make them respond to the death of Lincoln Riley and others at the hands of illegals. Let's make them. Let's push them to where we have the debate about whether or not they're illegals or whether or not they're undocumented. Push them. They're already wrong. They're already on the wrong side of this issue. We need to continue to expose it further, and further. They are illegals. Say it with me. They are illegals. And Lincoln Riley was killed by one. An illegal. And Joe Biden already told us that he was out of touch. Joe Biden has already let us know that he's not in touch with the situation with the American people at all. Let's expose that. It's an open wound for that administration. We need to continue to go after it. That's what we need to do. And I'm sorry about the late calls, but I just wanted to get that point across because, again, I'm just trying to get the show in and out. But I will be back tomorrow. Everett and Dave, if you call early enough tomorrow, I promise you I'll get you in first. So, just make sure you keep the phone number standing by. 860-522-9842, 860-522-WTIC. So, as I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. And remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. My name is Reese on the Radio. You have a good night, a pleasant tomorrow. Hartford, be safe. Hartford, be diligent. Hartford, take care of your own. Because if you don't protect Hartford, no one else will. and I stand with you. And I will contact the Archbishop. I'll send him a quick message to tell him that not only I support him, but people want to support him too. And he should get on the lines and tell us how we should get in touch with him. Craig, I will also send you a message on how to get in touch with the Archbishop. With that, we go to the BPS Traffic Center with our good friend Mark Christopher. Hello, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Have a great night. And if you are heading toward Hartford right now, very
All right, good show, sir.
Thank you, sir. We will see you tomorrow.
See you mañana. Enjoy your night, man.
Thank you, sir.
Waterbury looking good, 84 and 8. South